What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Spawn Point Podcast, episode number 16. Welcome
16?
back. 16 is here.
Yeah, we're doing a real one.
Doing a real one. It's going to be long. So, yeah, our mini was long.
Prepared.
This one's going to be a little bit longer.
Strap in.
It's going to be a longer episode. That's no big deal. Cam here. Jason with me as always. How you doing, man?
What up? I'm good. It's been an interesting week and a half, 2 weeks, but I'm here. I'm good.
Hey, man.
How about you?
I'm doing fine. You've had an incredibly busy week. I've had a very busy gaming week because I'm still just not going to work, which is amazing for me.
That would be like a great problem to have for me right now. Not even a problem, just a busy gaming week. I've had busy life week. So we did the last one, which was a mini that turned into a longie.
Right.
But so that would have been, we did that like kind of in the middle of the week, and we were wishing everybody a happy Mother's Day and hope that everyone had a great Mother's Day. I did not have a great Mother's Day. My mom didn't have a great Mother's Day. We were visiting. So my mother-in-law, we went and visited her first. And like a few weeks ago, she had fallen off a ladder or a chair or something and like busted her leg. And she's got like plates and screws and shit in her leg. So we went to visit her in the morning, and then we were going to go visit my mom in the afternoon. And then my dad calls and says they're taking to my mom to the hospital by ambulance. Wasn't sure what was going on there. She had been sick for a few days, so I'm like, man, is this like really gotten worse? And so I'm like, okay, well, keep me posted, And then he texted back a little bit later, and he's like, possible heart attack. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding.
Jesus Christ.
My mom has never had like health issues or anything like that, so I'm just like, what is going on? So ultimately, they just said it was they call it broken heart syndrome, which I had never heard of before. And typically it happens when somebody has like trauma or something like that, which she hadn't really had, but they did kind of relate it to the flu that she had. It just kind of wore her down and broke her down. And then one of her ventricles in her heart just stopped working. So it's kind of like a form of a heart attack, but like, not really. I don't know. I got more and more details, as time went by. So, yeah. And then she ended up staying in the hospital for like five days.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, good Lord. So I went and visited her a lot. And yeah, she's back home. She's doing better. So, but it's just been a mentally kind of draining week. Didn't get to a lot of the gaming stuff that I wanted to, but that's life. So
that is completely understandable.
Everything's good now.
That's good. I'm glad. I was worried about you. I was trying to keep up with you as much as possible. That shit sucks.
You did,
but
it does.
I'm glad you kind of got through it all. Do your parents still live in Dubuque or Davenport or whatever, or they live?
No, they live here. They live in
here now?
the big CR. Yep.
Lovely. What a great place.
They're
to live.
like 6 minutes away from me, so
nice.
I can always get there quick.
That's at least good. She was at least local.
Yeah.
I thought you were having to go all the way fucking down to.
Nope.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, my Mother's Day was completely uneventful. I was driving home.
Oh yeah.
You had a.
How was your trip?
Terrible. No, it was fine. It was. It was as fine as a 7.5 hour drive for one day could be. It was just
that's
fine.
That's a lot.
It's just I don't.
God.
I mean, it was good to go to support my cousin, but
for sure.
But for fuck's sake, I could have lived without that trip. Let's just put it that way. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
He was down there playing Crimson Desert a little bit, and I was kind of peeking and watching. Yeah. Still don't know if I want to buy that or not yet. It's still kind of just there. I don't know.
I think the that initial wave is kind of worn off a little bit, and like I still want to try it, but dude, I got so much other shit going on. So
yeah, I mean, I went down there like we had talked about this before. I was like, I kind of want to. Someone's gonna have to cover it. It's getting loud or whatever. And then I watched him play, and I was like, God, this looks like it's just not for me at all. Like this is just not.
Yeah.
But at the same, I was watching, I was like, this does not look like it's for me at all. But it looks kind of cool. So like,
yeah,
I kind of left there like exactly in the same spot. But
right.
I don't know if I'm going to have I don't know if I'm gonna have the time. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
My vacation's coming to an end. I have like Sunday blues, and because I go back to work on Saturday. Maybe. It depends on what my MRI results say. So we'll see.
Okay.
I don't know.
Everyone's been asking about you.
I'm sure they're all fucking pissed because, well, I don't know. Ever since I've been gone, I've been thinking about Scott being all pissed that I wasn't there for the food drive. It's like, dude. Anyway, that's completely unrelated. Anyway.
Yeah.
We got a long episode. I've been playing games like crazy. And then, of course, if you followed the YouTube channel, we've had some uploads about some stuff that we're going to cover in the pod this week as well. So we're going to talk about that stuff. We're going to have a Pragmata spoiler discussion at the end of the first segment because Jason finished it. So we want to talk about that game. Holds barred. So we're going to dive into that in more detail towards the end of the first segment. So I will have timestamps, maybe. That's a lot of work for me to have to keep track of timestamp. I'll do my best to at least get you.
I don't know how you do all that.
I'll do my best to at least get you a timestamp from the spoiler discussion to the news, so you can cut that out if you want.
There you go.
Spotify automatically puts timestamps in, so that's nice. But I don't have a way to.
I didn't know that.
I don't have a way to copy paste them to YouTube, which is what I would do if I could, but I don't have a way to do that. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. So you'll be good on Spotify. But YouTube, I'll just make it work. Let's just roll into the fucking housekeeping. Yeah. YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. You can get us on all those platforms. Honestly, we're on social media. I don't fucking check those. I don't think I've checked them in weeks. So just get a hold of us on YouTube. Yeah. I would say it's probably the best way to get a hold of us, or reach out to us on our email at
spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com. spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com.
Goddamn right. We are going to be covering a game that we got. Someone sent us a press kit and everything, which was fucking hype as shit. I was so excited.
Dude, I was so excited too. Yes. You sent me that. I read through that email. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I showed it to my wife. I'm like, look at this. This is cool. Yeah.
I mean, that's, we'll talk about that more in a second. But send all that stuff over there. We would appreciate it. And then, of course, we're most active on YouTube. And then if you want to get in touch with us, yes, we're on social media, but it's better to just join the Discord. Link in the description of the video. We are building a community over there, talking games. I post on, pretty much the cycle right now is I post on there every fucking Friday, asking people what they're playing during the weekend, and then we start a little conversation train, and that's about it. But we're trying to grow it a little bit, so swing on over there, join it. I like what's going on there. We got some stuff moving and grooving, so it's been good. I do too. It's been a good time.
I just like being able to pop in there and just throw my little 2 cents in. You and Devin, we've all kind of played Mixtape and stuff, so I popped in and been my early thoughts, and it's just a fun place to hang out if you want to talk video games.
Absolutely. So, and we welcome any conversation in there of any type of variety or whatever you want to do. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Great.
I just need to do a better job of proactively getting conversation started in there. However, whenever I do that, I have to tag the whole the whole group, and that's annoying to people, so I don't try to do that as often, but I don't know. It is what it is. Don't be annoyed by me. I'm just trying to make the community talk a little bit.
He's trying, man. He's working hard.
So that's that. This has been heavy loaded with me just blabbing. I'm going to go through some shout outs quick. We had a lot of engagement on the YouTube this week, so thank you guys so much for that. A lot of that is tied to the Mixtape video that I posted. Some agreeing with me, some not agreeing with me, which I expected, but that's totally cool.
Fine.
Shout outs to Jimmy Mac 88, James Reese 4170, Dan Sada, JC Jackson 3584, Sammer Singh 6998, Cole Zicki, Robin D 8526, Sveki, Sal's Bones in the comments section this week again, PC Master Race 157, and my brother Daxton for commenting on all of our shenanigans this week. Nothing really pointed to talk about, well, we're going to cover most of them. Most of those comments were from that Mixtape video, and we're going to talk about Mixtape in this episode. So a lot of that stuff we'll cover in there. Other than that, I'm done blabbing. Shall we go into some games discussions?
We shall. What yeah, like I mentioned up top, I haven't had a whole lot of time. I've been trying to finish some stuff up that I've been working on, which one I have. So I just kind of popped into a couple things. But this isn't a big gameplay week for me. So just bear with us. It was a slower week for me. So
you're just gonna be listening to me fucking blabble.
I don't care, man. I'm always interested. So
all right.
What do you got first?
Game of the week, Dead is Disco. So I briefly mentioned this game in the podcast prior. It's a beat 'em up that is a rhythm based beat 'em up. So it syncs to your music, and it's basically Batman Arkham with a musical tie-in. And it's really, really cool. It's in early access. I was a little bit upset with the scope that we got. I thought it was releasing in full, but it just released in early access. So with that being said, there's only 4 like story missions available right now, which is a little light to say the least. Yeah. But the main draw to this game is you can actually import your own music into the game and then, do these little combat sequences with your own music tied to the beats that you put into the game. So ultimately, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. However, the soundtrack that is here that ships with the game is actually really, really cool. They have a good mix of genres. If you're watching the gameplay footage on screen, I'm fighting the Prophet boss, one of the 4 that comes with the game right now. Yeah. And he's got like a hip hop fucking beat type of
sweet
thing going on, and it's like it just fits. And it was crafted for this game. It was designed for it. I mean, it references your character, Charlie Disco. And just like it's perfect. It's kind of a crime that I couldn't include the audio here because it just looks like a Batman Arkham game on the screen, but it's all synced up very well to this hip hop track, and it's just a really fun, flashy game. I've gotten no indication on when the rest is coming out. I believe there's still 4 additional bosses. I mean, everything is split into bosses. So you go into this gate and you have these bosses, and then you click them, and that's basically, it's not one track. It's the boss fights are split into 3 different tracks. So you have like the first track at the start, which is usually just a mob that you beat up and bash through, and then the second track is a different, like, it's got a different beat, so it sounds different. So you're right, kind of hitting at a different frequency. Then it goes into the third track, which is usually the final encounter with the actual boss of that area. So, I think there's 4 more coming that are just not available yet. So there's, I mean, it's a little light, I would say, but with only being 8 different encounters, it's pretty light. But
what's there is cool.
What's there is cool, and also it's not. From what I can tell, they're not licensed music. It's all tracks that are crafted for this game.
Yeah, you said it was designed for the game.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
If you 8 tracks that are handcrafted for this indie project is fine. I would love more, especially with the way that they're crafted. It's I would be great to have more, but anyways, we'll just have to kind of wait and see on that in the full game. But like I said, the main draw is putting your own music in here and just kind of fighting to your own stuff. I will say, importing your own music's a little bit of I don't really like the way that it's implemented here, and I don't know how I would fix it, but you have to input the BPM of the song yourself.
I figured
So there is like a little graph that comes up that you can put the track in, that it'll show the audio wavelength, and you can kind of line up the it's like you can line up the bars, like it'll show the BPMs a solid line. You can line them up to the peaks of the song and stuff, and you can separate it and then change the BPM for certain segments if you want to go into detail. But if you do that, you're spending fucking 45 minutes trying to get it all implemented just to play the song, which is going to end up being 5 minutes long or whatever, you know? So it's just like, that's a little bit tough. I would love it if there was some sort of learning tool here that could do it for you. That would be great.
What about, and like, even like some sort of like auto detection of like where, like, okay.
You would think that would be here, and I hope maybe in the full game it will be, but right now it's all manual, and there's no way to like download community stuff. I think it's not impossible that a modding community might kind of get a hold of this and then you can import some songs that other people have created at some point in the future.
True. Okay.
Or maybe this will get improved as we get closer to full release. Again, this is early access. This was flashy enough that I wanted to cover it, even though it's early access. But I really thought I was getting the full game, and that's just not what I got here. So, anyways, that's kind of dead as disco. I will say the story is kind of interesting, sort of. I mean, you play as a group of dead people. Basically, the bosses that you fight all sold their soul to achieve fame and fortune, and it's implied kind of that Charlie did the same. Charlie Disco, the guy that you play, did the same, but he is acting like he didn't. I don't know. It's just kind of cool the way that they talk to each other, and it seems very as grounded as it could be for them being dead. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's really cool. It's a good one to watch out for. PC only. So
yeah. And if this does look, I mean, if you guys are watching and it looks, cool, like check some gameplay out, like online and stuff, because it really does, like, you kind of do need the music to really see how it's going, but we can't do it. We'll get, we'll get pulled or something if we try to throw all the stuff in here. But I did watch some videos and stuff on this, and it is pretty cool how it does fit. It really does go along with the music. I watched a bunch of stuff where, people had some like Michael Jackson and stuff, and it does go with the beat. I was like, oh, that is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
So it looks fun.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. It's a cool idea. And we talked about this before. We need more rhythm games, and this is a rhythm game. So it's pretty cool in that aspect. I just I'm excited to see more. I don't know what the long-term plan for this is, but it's cool with what it is right now. $24.99 on Steam. I don't think this is a project we'll see get released on consoles, to be honest, because I think the main draw is the importing of your own stuff, which is not something you can do on a console. And even if you could, the 8 song soundtrack that's here, or I guess there's more than 8 songs, because I said there's 3 per boss fight, but some of them are licensed tracks. Because I made a short that I posted on YouTube that was a track from the game, and TikTok took it down immediately. Took it down. Yeah, so that's why it wasn't on TikTok. It was on YouTube and it was on Facebook.
I did see that,
but it wasn't on TikTok because they took it down immediately. So I was like, okay, well, that's fine.
Okay,
but so, anywho's, this game's cool. Check it out if you're interested. $24.99 on Steam. Probably not going anywhere else, if I had to guess. So
sure.
Well, that's all I got for Charlie Disco. I'll keep fucking with it.
Charlie Disco.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Does look interesting.
Yes. I think you would like it, but let's move on.
Okay. So I think it was on like Discord or something that you were talking about stuff that you were probably going to play when you were on your little road trip or away from home and stuff. And you had mentioned, I think it was a WRC game or some rally game or something. And I was like, dude, I haven't really we talk about racing games, like you said, every week. It's both of our favorite genres, and honestly, rally games are like up towards the top for me. And I was like, oh God, I should just and it's something that I can kind of hop back into kind of at any time. For some reason, like that muscle memory of these type of games just always stays with me, so I can jump back into something. I did play a little bit of WRC Generations, even some WRC 9, but I decided to play a little bit more Rush Rally 3. Now, this has been out for a long time. It's just kind of an arcade, rally racer, but it's really well done. Especially being, I believe it was like one solo developer, Stephen Brown of Brown Monster Limited, kind of is like the solo dev on this game, and it's surprising how well this game plays and runs. Now, this um this one in particular, he prioritized like what am I trying to say? Like gameplay over like graphics, like performance, I guess I should say, over graphics. So some people are like, it's kind of like a 360 graphic kind of thing, but I still think it looks great. But it just runs so smooth. No matter what. I mean, I played this on my original Switch and it was smooth, and now with the Switch 2, it's even smoother. And it's the thing I like about this a lot, excuse me, is the sense of speed. Like like I said, I played some WRC Generations, and then I hopped into this, and it's just so much faster. And it does kind of feel a little bit more like watching a rally race, on the TV. Those fuckers just fly around these courses so goddamn fast. Not that WRC games aren't fast, but there's just something about this that's a little bit faster. And this is a game that I can just keep hopping into at any time and just enjoying it. It's got your typical rally, which is like your point-to-point races where you're going for your time. There is a rally cross mode built into this too, where you're actually up against other racers. There's like an arcade mode where you're like avoiding obstacles. You can there's one where you like pick up coins, and the coins actually you start with like maxed out time, and you have to try to get your time down by collecting these things. That's just all kind of off to the side fun stuff to throw a little bit more into this game, because rally games typically are just that time attack, that to point style racing. So yeah, this I believe this was originally on just mobile. And then it came to PC and Switch. But it's packed. There are 72 stages in this, spread across 11 different countries. So that's even more than some of the WRC games. Now, they're based on areas that actually do hold actual WRC races, but the tracks are just kind of made up. But to be honest, like, I've watched WRC in the past for the past many, many years, but I couldn't tell you when they were on one track versus another, or a circuit, or whatever you even want to call them, because it's just a point-to-point race out on. These are roads that cars drive on, in these other countries and stuff. So I don't know what's real and what's not. So that part didn't bother me at all. But yeah, you've got within those 11 countries. Obviously, you have all your different surfaces. You've got your gravel, you've got your tarmac, your dirt, your snow, and the physics and stuff do take into account, what type of surface you're racing on. Obviously, you slide around a little bit more on snow and mud and dirt. It's a lot more grippy on your tarmac. So it plays really well. And I just like I said, I like the sense of speed in this, and it really you kind of white knuckling it a little bit sometimes, like just because you hit those corners and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna freaking fly off, and you somehow manage to hold on. And I don't think the cars aren't licensed. They're all based on actual rally cars and stuff, but they're just not licensed. It doesn't matter. But they do have a full like upgrade tree and stuff. You can basically tweak everything on these cars, so it's got all that kind of stuff that that you want. A nice damage model in this as well. You can really mess up your car if you aren't paying attention, and basically have to bow out of races if you damage it too much. So, yeah, there is you can really, if you want to dive into it, it's got like almost like a Forza style, like rivalry system, where you can just deck out your guy. I don't do any of that, but if you wanted to, it's in here. So if you really want to distinguish your car from the other ones, these type of games though, I mean, unless you're doing like the Rallycross, which is what's on screen right now, you just don't see a lot of the other vehicles anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, full championship career mode. Like I said, there are single races, there's time attack things off to the side, but the career mode is actually really well done, and it's like I said, it's spread across all those different countries. It's pretty in depth. You know, you're just constantly watching how you're doing compared to the other racers. The AI is actually pretty good in this, and I do really like there's this bar up like on the top left corner that kind of shows where you are compared to, you know, the other cars that have already done this part
stage.
of the circuit. Yeah, the stage, and it kind of shifts up and down. It goes into the green if you're kind of like getting a little bit ahead. If you hit a corner wrong, the ball kind of slowly goes down. So you're kind of constantly watching that, like, fuck, I fucked that up, and now I got to try to make up some time. So it's just really well done. I like how that system is in this. It's better than some of the other like official WRC games where you're like not quite sure how you're doing until you hit a checkpoint, and then that checkpoint either shows up as green, yellow, or red. And some of those other games where you're like, oop, that last section I didn't do the best, but you don't necessarily always know how you're doing until you hit that checkpoint. This game shows you like second by second kind of how you're doing compared to the other drivers, and I thought that was really cool. So
that is super cool.
But yeah, it's got like live events. People are still honestly playing this because I jumped into like some of the online, you know, live events. It's just up against like leaderboards and stuff.
Yeah.
And people are still playing it. So thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
So yeah, Rush Rally 3, just a kind of a inexpensive kind of arcade rally game.
Yeah, $14.99 on Steam and Switch. I got a couple things here. First and foremost, I don't think the graphics look bad at all. In motion, I think it looks solid. I think it looks solid.
Right.
Especially, you know, think about team size and stuff like that. It's really impressive. Game came out in 22, so that says a lot, considering that you mentioned there's people still playing it online, which is shocking to say the least. So that's awesome.
I know.
To hear.
It might have been the same like two people I was going up against, but
fucking still
there was somebody in there.
On. Yeah. You mentioned that unlicensed vehicles, but they're clearly based on real vehicles. I'm seeing a Focus. I'm seeing a Golf. I'm seeing a Lancia. That thing is just the rally. You know, every rally game's got to have a Lancia. So I think this game looks really solid, like visually, and if you're looking for a cheap rally game, this is a great recommendation that I never heard of before. Oh,
really? Yeah, you can do far worse than this game. So
you know why I stopped playing WRC, EA WRC?
Why?
Regulator rallies. They're fucking boring as fuck.
That's the thing.
They're horrible.
These games, like these games, are not for everyone. Some people play racing games to play against. They want the other cars on the track with you, and you're constantly battling for position.
No, I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. Have you ever done a regulator rally? Maybe that's only in where you have to fucking maintain a certain speed, and then you have to like hit the checkpoint at the perfect. Dude, that fucking sucks.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was misery. That was like misery for me. It'd be a lot more fun on a wheel and pedal setup, I would think. But like, on a controller trying to maintain fucking 35 miles an hour between checkpoints is like misery. Oh my god, it's terrible. Just let me rip and roll, baby. But it's just It's just rally. It's just rally. But yeah, these are time attack based games. Time attacks. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the whole point of rally. I'm just complaining regulator rallies.
No,
Lame.
I know. I just wanted to throw that in. I mean, if you don't want to just be on a track by yourself trying to get the best time, rally games typically aren't probably going to be for you. So
yeah, I think they're fun. I just
they
don't regulator. Is that a real like discipline? Regulator rallies?
I think they do have that kind of stuff in WRC. I don't know how they're implemented in the course of like a season, but there are things like that in these. And to be honest, I don't even think every team like takes part in those. I don't think you like have to, but yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah,
that's just fucking lame.
It's
just a. I mean, it makes sense. There's strategy there, but in a game, it's like, oh,
yeah,
fudge. Do you have a co-pilot in this game, like shouting at you, or is it just
constantly? You can change the where they're from, their origin. There's like an Aussie guy. There's a British guy. Yeah, there's multiple different co-drivers with you too, and it's well implemented. These games can. I played some other things in the past where like it just never feels like the co-pilot is like on pace with where you're at. Sometimes I feel like they're too far ahead, or like they're like, 1 through 6 turns typically is what they're shouting out to you. Like a 6 is a pretty easy turn, a 1 is a pretty tough turn. So, and you do listen to that. I'm always listening, to my co-pilot to try to determine, what's coming up. If he's like, hairpin turn, hairpin left, and you're like your brain just kind of starts to go, okay, I got to be ready to really take this corner a little bit slower, or I'm going to, fly off. So, but yeah, and it's just well implemented in this game. So
yeah, that's great. I've played a decent amount of rally games in my life, but like that's something I think I do listen to it, but subconsciously, I feel like I'm playing more reactionary than I'm listening to the co-pilot, because he's shouting, crest, jump, stay left, hold tight right, one.
Yep. Don't cut.
Yeah, it's like, it's like fucking very hard to keep track of it, but it just, it's cool when you play a game and you can actually like. That is how it is in real life. That is what those rally drivers are fucking deal. Like that's what they're keeping track of it all, and you're just trying your best, so it's cool.
Exactly. It is kind of subconsciously you are listening, but you are reacting just as much. You just kind of, the listening part just comes from like kind of keeping what's coming up in your head as you're currently on the section of the track that you're on. So there's a lot of kind of just pay attention type of thing. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, these are cool. Fucking racing game. We just love them. We love them here. We've always been the Spawn Point Racing Podcast. God dang.
Spawn Point Racing Network.
Forza's out now, isn't it?
Yeah, I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Another 10 out of 10 from IGN.
I see that. There's been dude.
Well, I think they're rage bait. I think they're fucking rage bait at this point. They're giving shit too low and too high. They're fucking rage baiting for clicks at this point. It's got to be.
Yep.
And that might be a 10 out of 10. That's fine. But okay, speaking of, let's just transition. Let's transition.
Well, real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So the guy who always reviews the racing games on IGN, that Australian guy, like I always respect his reviews.
Yeah.
So when I saw that I assumed that he was going to be the guy, talking about the new Forza, and then I heard his voice when I started watching the review. I'm like, okay, it's still him, and I do usually agree and respect his opinions. But yeah, just another 10. I'm just like, okay.
10 is a fucking masterpiece score. It should be very elusive. It was for the longest time very elusive, and now. Mm-hmm. Anyways, transitioning to Mixtape. I rolled through and beat this game. Jason tried, but again, he's been busy, hasn't finished it fully, so we're not talking spoilers here. So I think the best use case of our time is to kind of recap my YouTube video. So if you want to see the YouTube video, go over to YouTube. I covered all the controversy surrounding this game. There's been a ton of it, which is just kind of the gaming discourse nowadays, unfortunately. But it is what it is. A lot of it was brought on justifiably, the controversy. Some of it not so much. We'll talk about all of that. So First and foremost, the glaring, well, I should backtrack. In Mixtape, you play as a group of 3 rebellious teenagers as they live out their final days together before they all go into adulthood. And one leaves for college, one stays back in the small town they grew up in, and the other one, whatever. She is going
off to college, just not like right away like Stacy is. So,
well, they're going on a road trip. So the whole thing is they planned this road trip. One of the kids is leaving early to go follow their dreams, and they're bailing on the road trip. That's a big point of contention between this group. But you have Stacy, Cassandra, and Van Slater. You're kind of
Van Slater
controlling through this game. Stacy's the main protagonist, and you take control of her as you go through this final day together. One of the biggest maybe the biggest point of controversy is the review scores for this game are simply not matching what players are feeling for the game, and that's tied to a few reasons. IGN gave this game a 10. We were just talking about 10s, which I mentioned this in my discussion. You have to keep in mind that IGN has multiple reviewers. They basically subcontract these reviews out to people, so you can't like get pissed at IGN and like you can't take an IGN review, compare it to another IGN review, and like base it off of that. So the point I was making in that was like Mouse PI got a 7, which was notoriously low a couple weeks ago, and then this got a 10, and there's not a lot of people that I would say this game is a 10 out of 10. So it just, you can't compare the two, but everybody's comparing the two. But you got to understand it was two different reviewers with two different opinions and yada, yada, yada. My thought on this is that if you want to be a trusted review source, which IGN is, you need to start reviewing by committee. Like it's time to change the formula. Yeah. It's time to change the formula because we are giving our opinions on games and rating games and giving our thoughts. We're not trusted. We're just fucking dudes talking games, and that's what we like to do. So ours are just personal opinion. You can take them or leave them, right? But people that aren't in the industry, for example, will make purchasing decisions based on review scores, right? And if you go and you're like, oh, this Mixtape game looks kind of cool, I'm going to look it up real quick on Google. The first thing you're going to see is IGN, and you're going to see a 10 out of 10. I don't think this is a 10 out of 10 game, and I think it's going to leave a lot of people disappointed if they're going in thinking this is going to be the best game of all time, like on the same legs as Red Dead Redemption 2 and, you know, all these other games that rightfully probably deserved a 10 out of 10. I think 10 out of 10 is like, I have one 10 out of 10 game as Clair Obscure Expedition 33. Everything else is, the 10 out of 10 is like a very lucrative, hard to reach. It should be like almost impossible to get to.
Yeah, I agree.
And that 10 out of 10 from IGN just felt really oddly placed. But then other review sources were giving it 9s and, you know, high praises kind of all around. Okay, so that led into the next discourse conversation with them saying that this game was kind of bought and paid for, so to speak, that there was some goodie money being given out to give this game high review scores. I don't know where I'm at on that necessarily, but the problem got amplified when a bunch of creators started showing off their swag bags that Annapurna sent them with like a CD player and a retro headset. And so they actually did send out goodie bags with this game. They did do that, and that was just for like that was just for the odd and end independent reviewer. So Lord knows what they did with IGN, and yeah, Lord knows what they did with IGN and yada yada. But people online were grifting their swag bags and stuff, and that's
I didn't hear that.
You can promote your game if you want to. That's fine. However, anybody that got a swag bag, that review should be discarded, in my opinion. You can be as unbiased as you want to be. I pride myself on being unbiased, but if you start getting shit, then it's going to sway you subconsciously, regardless of what you say. So any reviewer that starts grifting their swag bag goodies to you in their review, I would not trust that review. It's going to be boosted a little bit, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I think that's just human nature, right? If you're getting sweet talked and given a bunch of stuff, you're probably going to be a little bit more kind to the project than someone that wasn't given a gift bag, so to speak. So that's number 2. Number 3, golly, shit just keeps going on and on. Number 3, and the most criminal thing for me, is this game is being marketed as an indie game, and it's just not an indie game. This is not an indie game. It's not
an indie game
at all.
It has indie game vibes and feels, but it's not an indie game.
100%. The game is being sold and marketed as an indie project because, as we've talked about, indie projects are carrying the load of AAA right now. And this game has the visual stylings of an independent project, but it is not independently up, Well, this is where it gets complicated, because the game was developed by Beethoven and Dinosaur, and I looked into them a little bit, and they are a 12-man studio, so it meets the criteria there for team size for an independently developed project. The problem is, this is basically a visual soundtrack. So, if you know anything about licensing music in the year of our Lord 2026, it is incredibly expensive, right? And there are some tracks in here. Jason knows more of them than me. I will be honest. I mentioned this. There was a few tracks I know, like The Touch, and a couple other tracks in here that were kind of big hits in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and those had to be fucking expensive to get the licensing for. Just that one track. And that one track, the budget for that track is more than most indie projects will have a budget for. Simple as that. Okay? So this puts you in a position where you have to determine, is it indie because it was developed by a small team, or is indie solely strictly based on funding? So it's tough. For me, this game gives me vibes that it's going for an indie market and it's not independently developed. So it's not fair to the indie games and the indie projects that I love. That's just my thoughts. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying that's what I feel when I played through this project. It's got a very interesting animation style that I'm not a big fan of. It's kind of like claymation almost in a way with the character models, is what it is. I wasn't a big fan, but some people are going to like that. I think the open world environments look very nice and are very well done. All of that leads into budget. There's a lot of rendering going on here, and it looks really good, and that costs money. And then another thing the game does that kind of just makes it look and feel like a money pit is the game is kind of separated into these mini games, so to speak. Sort of. I mean, mini games and fucking air quotes.
Yeah.
But if you know the industry, everything that is different, every different system in a game that plays differently than another, all requires funding. So you have these situations in Mixtape where you're going down a hill in a shopping cart, or you're going to to a baseball field and hitting softballs, or they're so vastly different from one another that those systems took a lot of funding to develop. And there's so many of them that there was some money thrown at this project. And on top of that, these systems that they use in the game are only really used for about 5 minutes. So it's like, what the fuck
if
are
that
we doing?
Sometimes.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, we spent a whole bunch of money to put this stupid batting MLB The Show-esque type fucking mini game in this softball field for fucking 7 minutes, and then it's gone. So it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah. So all of that just points to, like, it's not got an indie dev budget. Simple as that. So
no, you can just tell.
Yeah, no, you can just tell. But it just feels egregious with the art style and the way that it comes off like an indie game, and it's not. And I am a man of the indies, so that drove me nuts throughout the game. And I will say, the comment section on my video have been very mixed. Some people are still totally fine calling this an indie project because of the small dev team behind it. And that's fine. That's totally fine. My problem is you couldn't have made this game without knowing that you were going to get funding for 28 fully licensed tracks. So there's something there collaborative that disqualifies it for me. Simple as that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That is my personal opinion. It doesn't have to be yours, but that's where I'm at. The last thing I mentioned with this controversy was something I've heard about a little bit, but it's not the key talking point, but it is the narrative. I kind of read the game as kind of modern politic coded in some spots. And that may just be me. Like, I think it is just me because it didn't seem like a lot of people had the same opinion, but there are lesbian and queer coded relationships in this game, in my opinion, and I could be wrong on this. I felt like they pushed Cassandra and Stacy onto each other in more than a friendship type of relationship. That's just how I viewed the relationship. There are plenty of people that view it oppositely and just think they were friends, and that's totally fine if you view it that way. That's not how it came across to me, and I'm going to talk about the game, how it came across to me. So I felt like these two were starting to build into more of a real relationship as opposed to just a friendship. Simple as that. Take that as you will, take it as you want. What I will say, though, is that we've talked about this. I got to stop saying we've talked about this in the podcast because someone might be listening to this for the first time. But yeah, but like I've said a million times that I have no problem with these types of narratives being put into the video game as long as they make sense and they're not forced in there. And I do not think that Mixtape forces it. So I do think that that even though there's some agenda here, in my opinion, again, I don't think it's egregious. I don't think it's so over the top that it killed me inside. I mean, there was moments where it got right to the line of being too cringy for me to handle, but it never pushed it too far. And I think that's a positive in this game's narrative for what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been talking about fucking. I have one more thing that I want to.
I'm listening. I have some things to say, but
yeah, I got one more thing, and then we'll actually talk about the game because this has been a huge topic this week. It's been all over. So there's just been a lot of things that have come up. The last thing is this is not really a video game. And that is a true statement. Like 100%, in my opinion, absolutely a true statement. Here's the thing. It resembles a Telltale game. Okay? It resembles a Telltale game in that it's just kind of a narrative that you do some things in, okay? But it's not a Telltale game because there is no branching paths in this game. There's no option to influence the story at all. There's nothing of the sort at all. So it does play itself. And to the point that there are these sections where people online have literally put their controller down during a gameplay section, and the game will continuously fail over and over again, but it'll still end up getting its way down to the next narrative thing. You know what I mean? It's you don't even have to engage with the game at all if you don't want to. So that is true. I don't like that, but at the same time, I'm like a fence sitter. I'm trying not to be a fence sitter, but I'm coming off as one. I think developers should have the freedom to do what they want. And if this is the project they wanted to make and they wanted to put you on rails to the umpteenth extreme extent, they can do that. I'm not going to fault them for that. But if you have a problem with that, it's a valid problem. So that's that. That's kind of it for the controversies. Jason, what do you have to say about Mixtape? And then we'll actually talk about some other stuff. But
okay,
that's all stuff that needed to be prefaced because it's all over the place.
It is all over the place, and all those things are absolutely valid. There is a lot of talk going on about this game, and so as I was listening to you, like I like how we are different.
Yeah.
In a way, like I like our different, not even different opinions, just the ways we look at stuff. I think that's pretty cool, and all those things that you said, I agree with. Especially when it comes to the relationship between Stacy and Cassandra. I was like waiting for the moment that they said something like, well, we did have a relationship in the past, for a little bit. We tried it. It didn't work. I kept waiting for that because it did kind of lean in that direction. There's a scene early on where they're in Stacy's bedroom and Cassandra talks about having a dream and Stacy's like, did we do it? And they're like,
Exactly.
no, we did this and this, and then we did it. And Stacy's like, right on. I mean, it is what it is. It could just be that they're just open enough to just joke about that kind of stuff. That's kind of the vibe I got a little bit with it. But yes, it does kind of teeter on that line of like, and then there's like even stuff with Slater and Stacy where it's just like, did they have a thing? It's just kind of like, are they all open and fluid with each other or whatever?
Yeah.
And I don't care. It is what it is.
Yep.
But you've always kind of like analyzed that kind of stuff, and I do too, and I see it. I just don't like. I don't know. I just kind of let it. I just
Roll
let
over
it
you.
go. Right, I just let it roll over me and stuff. But yeah, everything that you said is valid. This game is tough, and going back to the very beginning, the first thing that you touched on with these reviews and stuff, everything is an opinion piece. It just sucks that people do go to these sites and stuff and be like, okay, is this worth playing? I just wish more people like let themselves experience these things without so much sway, and stuff, because this game in particular it's a heavy vibes type game. It is not even a full on game like you said. It's more of an experience.
Yep.
And for me in particular, like we've said a million times, I'm a little bit older. Like a lot of this stuff is things that I did at that time period, as a high school senior, for their last day of school. God, I made so many mixtapes over the years and stuff, growing up, and I that kind of stuff hit with me pretty hard on this, especially the soundtrack. And it is very like some of my favorite even movies are higher because of the soundtrack and the way that they implement these songs into these movies. And this kind of hit me in that same sort of way. A lot of these songs, a few of them I didn't really recognize. Maybe I'd heard them, but I never really into them. But some of them really hit. Like, early on, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a Jesus and Mary chain song when they're first entering Stacy's house and they're climbing up the stairs, and I'm just like, oh my God, it just hit me in a way. And that's where I started to see like, okay, as a reviewer, I can see the guy who gave it a 10 being like, oh my God, this just
absolutely
hits, it's a feels type of thing. And
100%.
that's fine, and then that's that guy's opinion, and it's somebody else playing this that doesn't recognize any of this stuff, be like, all right, that's cool. So it's just so hard to review a game like this. It just almost has to be experienced and to really get your own opinion on this kind of stuff. So
let me branch on that really fast.
Yes, go for it.
That is 100% nail on the head. You just fucking drilled it, because the nostalgia is hitting you hard. It fucking kind of went over my head most of the time. So that is a big reason why the reviews fluctuate as much as they do. You fucking crushed it with that. So good analysis. Continue. I just wanted to compliment you on that.
Yes, that's how I felt, and that's how I felt with some of these people that have given it like a really good score. It's just it's hitting them different than it's hitting other people. And like you mentioned, there's not a lot of like game in this. There are little mini games and things like the skating is cool and stuff, but like you said, you could just kind of let it play out, and it would just play out, And I do like the variety in the soundtrack. You go from like like I said, that Jesus and Mary Chain song, Just Like Honey, is just a very like almost ethereal type of song. It kind of has a real feeling to it. And then they get in Slater's car and they're driving, and there's a Silverchair song in there that I used to listen to all the time too, and it's a very kind of rocking thing, and then they do this, head banging thing. So it's just different vibes on different levels. And I don't know. I think that part of it works, but just don't play this if you're looking for something that you're like, I really want to dive into, what this game offers as far as gameplay stuff, because it just doesn't have a lot of that. It is a feels type
100%.
of game.
100%.
So I wish I would have gotten this finished. I'm pretty far in. I'm more than halfway. How many songs did you say? Like 20?
There's 28.
28 license. Okay, so I think I still have more because I'm like 8 or 9 songs into the soundtrack and stuff.
Yep. You got a little ways.
Which is I got a little bit more to go, but I'm enjoying it for what it is so far.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
I mean, and pretty much uninfluential. You can't influence that. It's going to be 3 hours. It's short. Man, there's never been a game better for us to talk about on the podcast because we're just two demographics here. You're getting hit on everything, and I'm kind of missing on everything. I will say, I don't really like Stacy as a protagonist. So that's going to affect my review a little bit. I think a game would be better off if it was controlled by Van, to be honest. I like Van better than either of the two girls, to be fair. Maybe that's just me personally because I'm a dude.
He's just such a dope, though.
Yeah, he is such a dope. But I think that Stacy's just kind of weird. She kind of takes like the leader role in the group for some reason. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just didn't really like her character much, so that kind of took me out of the experience. I beat it. I'm not even going to give it a number. It's a little bit better than average for me, honestly. And like Jason mentioned, it's an experience, not a game. So you have to know that going in. And again, I'm not going to critique the game on that aspect, because I'm okay with allowing devs to do what they want. If we start limiting what they can and can't do, then we got problems, and I don't want to do that. So that's definitely not what I'm getting at here. I just it didn't vibe with me. I mean, and this is a really interesting game to talk about, just because it is it is going to hit with some people and not with others. So
100%, and that's kind of why I'm trying to like circle back to like it's gonna hit everyone differently. I'm a big music guy. Like I dive into like old shit and like I don't know. I've just been into music my entire life, and I like that kind of obscure kind of stuff. Like Stacey's in her room, and there's a Portishead album on her desk, the Dummy, their first album, and I listen to the shit out of that. So it's just gonna be that kind of stuff. Like, if this is your vibe, it's gonna hit with you. If it's not, maybe it won't so much, because it does rely pretty heavily on that kind of stuff.
100%.
If you pull that stuff apart, this isn't gonna do much for you at all. So just keep that in mind.
100%. I have one question about this for you. Does this replicate the 90s to you, or does it replicate more 70s, 80s, like vibe? Why? I was born in 94, so I can't comment on this, but I felt like it almost came across as a little bit older than the 90s, but I might be fucking wrong on that. Where are you at with like how do I even word it?
I know what you're trying to say.
It comes off as like older than the 90s, but you grew up in that time. I didn't, so maybe I'm just viewing it wrong. I mean, the CD player is very 90s. The foam earbud headphones she's wearing are very 90s, but like there are some things that almost lean further back, and maybe it's just because it uses the soundtrack. There's some songs I believe from the 70s and 80s in there. Maybe nope. Maybe it's just that kind of makes me feel like it's a little bit older, and not like it's almost like it's hitting what a movie would think of as a 90s thing, but it almost feels older. I don't know. I'm over explaining it. I'll let you take it.
No. Like early to mid 80s, but like it's like they don't try to pinpoint exactly a time period that this takes place in. Like I graduated in 98, and some of this stuff is reminiscent of that, but some of it definitely feels older than that. So I did kind of struggle with when they were trying to place this game because of all of that, and with the soundtrack being as varied as it is, it makes it even harder sometimes to pinpoint because it's not always like songs that were hitting whenever, are taking place or recorded when this game is supposed to be taking place. So that makes it even harder to kind of like pinpoint a time period that this is taking place in. But like I said, there are some things that kind of really hit like when I graduated, but some of it didn't. So I don't know. I was trying to pinpoint that for a while, and then I just kind of let that go because I'm like, I don't know when they're trying to say this is taking place. But
It's fair. I just think
yeah,
it's a strike against the narrative because you can't.
it is
because
because you can't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I gave this game a 7 on Pan X. I think I would bump it down to a 6.5.
Okay.
I just don't. A lot of that comes down. I just don't like Stacy that much. I think
Yeah.
I think the protagonist could have been better. This fucking minigame, the fucking makeout thing is so
fucking
cringy.
Makeout. I loved when it said, so you're like, you're controlling these two tongues and stuff, and you're just like, this fucking saliva's around and stuff. And then finally it gets to where it's like, there's
That's
a button
enough.
that says, that's enough.
Yeah.
And I hit that as
Get me
soon
the
as I saw
fuck
that. I'm
out of
like,
here.
I've seen enough of that.
Anyways, that was
yeah.
the best coverage of Mixtape on the internet, I think, dude. Because we both have different. We're like literally both sides of the coin. Like I just think that's awesome. Shout out to us for being friends, different ages.
Yes.
So
one of the few times it helps us out.
Let us know your thoughts on Mixtape down below. It's a positive. It's on Game Pass. It's on Xbox Game Pass, PC Game Pass. You don't got to shell out for it, but it is $24.99 if you decide to purchase it on other platforms. It is available everywhere. But yeah, you can get it included in your subscription if you pay for that. So that's also a positive.
Just if it looks interesting, play it. Have your own thoughts and feelings about it. It's hard to get swayed by reviewers on this one.
It's incredibly important. Incredibly important. We talk about that all the. God damn it! I keep doing that. That's like my fucking crutch. Instead of me saying I say we talk about this all the time. But literally, you should play games. And most importantly, you should play games for fun. Okay, you shouldn't have to go into everything expecting to critique it in some form, fashion, or whatever.
Yes.
And so this game might just be fun for you. And if that's the case, power to you. I love that.
More power to you. Exactly.
You shouldn't go into this expecting to be like, okay, this guy, like I did, because I would not have played this probably if I didn't see IGN give it a 10 and I wanted to like check to see how out of base they were. But so it got me in the door, but
right. But even for me, like this is hitting a lot, like the feels and the music and stuff. Like all these songs come on, I'm like, oh my god, I listen to this like crazy. But even for me, like it hitting, I still don't think it's a 10 because it's just there are things that I don't love about it. Like I had kind of the same feeling as you with Stacy. She seems kind of like annoying and like
oh my god, so annoying,
bitchy, and just like her opinions on things are like what matters the most. I mean, it's like she's in control. I get that she's the main character, but it's like she's in control of this freaking music the whole time, and her friends are just kind of there for the ride. And it's like if Stacy didn't pick it, and then it's no good. It's just like she's very, very opinionated.
Yep.
So,
anyways, check it out for yourself. We'll touch base back on this, Jason. There's pretty much no excuse for you not to just wrap this next week.
I'm going to.
Unless something horrendous happens again. Let's hope not.
Dude,
fingers crossed, bro.
Nothing else needs to happen this week.
Yeah,
so.
you're good. We'll finish this conversation next week. Jason will give his final opinions, and it'll be higher than mine, and that's just the way that this show works.
That's just the way it is.
All right, let's move on from there. Jason, you got a game you bounced off of, but
I did.
I told you sometimes that's still good to talk about. So tell us about this one.
Okay, so the game I'm talking about here is Xuan Yuan Sword 7. This has been on my wish list for a while, not for any like particular reason where I'm like, ooh, I gotta play this at some point. Just looked just interesting enough that I'm like, I don't know, maybe if this goes on sale or something, I'll check it out. And it did go on like a deep sale, and I'm like, fuck it. It is a action RPG, a very, very story-heavy action RPG, set in, like, ancient Chinese history. It was developed by Domo Studios. It's kind of the, uh it's 7, but it's, like, the first mainline entry in the Taiwanese, franchise that was released in the West. So,
Oh,
this is very in the West, yes.
I was about to say, like,
So
what the fuck?
no, no, no,
How's
no,
there
no.
7 of these in the? Okay, I got you. We're good. It's like
So,
a Final
this is the
Fantasy
first
thing
one.
all over again. I'm sorry.
Yes. This is the first one that kinda got popular and released in the West. So, yeah, so but you don't really have to have, like, knowledge of the first 6 to play this. They do kinda have their own storyline and stuff, but, anyway, I liked what I've seen of, like, the action in this game, but the reason I bounced off it is it feels very budgety.
Hmm.
Um, like the game that so like you're playing the trailer here, and the trailer makes it look a lot smoother than it really is, and that's not just the the different systems that it performs on. It's literally the design of it. It is stiff character movements. Um, especially when they're just kind of walking around and interacting. The facial stuff is not real strong. They're supposed to be showing these like intense emotions and stuff, and it just doesn't come across on their face. And even like the fighting part, which is better, I think, than the more narrative kind of walking around and exploring part. I think the combat is a little bit better. But I was kind of bored.
Hmm.
The story is kind of cool. Um, y- y- you're like this warrior. Well, you're not even a warrior. You were like this kid, and his parents were killed in this like attack early on in the game, and you're kind of responsible for raising your sister, and then something happens to her, so then you're trying to basically the point of this is you're trying to figure out a way to save your sister from how do I do this without spoiling it?
I don't think you
Something
can. You're not
happens.
far in, are you?
What's that?
I don't know if you can. You're not that far in. Can you spoil it?
No.
Just
Well, so she dies,
okay.
essentially
Okay.
early on in the game, but this creature, this being, like, brings her back, but as a spirit. Like, she comes back and, like, her body is, like, still, like, laying where she was killed, and she even looks at herself like, "That's me." So, like, you're interacting with your sister throughout this gameplay, but I don't think anybody else can see her, and there is a way to put her soul back into her body, and that's kinda what you're doing throughout the course of this game. So, um, yeah, I don't even wanna go too far because I don't know.
Oh, that's fair.
I've
Yeah, yeah.
an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe is what I put into this, and I just wasn't having a good time, and
Bummer.
there's too many other things that I'm like, I should be playing something else,
Bummer.
to be honest. So, yeah, I kinda bounced off. There's no English dub at all.
Oh
It's
no.
all in Chinese.
Oh dear.
Um, so yeah, there's no way of changing that. So you're listening to Chinese, which I get. It's fine. It fits with this, you know, they are Chinese characters.
Yep.
But it's just in Chinese it's a faster language when they talk. It's they're like and it you trying to read the subtitles, but sometimes it goes they're on to the next sentence, and then so the subtitles have to move on to the next sentence. So I miss some stuff, and I'm just like, man, I cannot keep up with this.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to read what they're saying. The music is really good. Like
Mm.
the intro, like when I first booted this up and I saw like the intro thing, and then like this moving shield thing, and then like the title screen comes up. I'm like, okay, like it has a very good initial impression, and like I said, the music that goes along with it, I'm like, hey, this is pretty decent. And then the gameplay starts, and you're like, okay, it's fine. So like I said, like Cam said, I wasn't even gonna include this because I'm just like I bounced off, and he's like, no, come talk about why you bounced off it. and that's why it just didn't seem super polished.
I think it's important. I'm glad you brought it up anyways. It's just because this is part of gaming. You're going to bounce off shit, and that's it.
Yep.
And there are some people that like, they'll be like, you know, some people, I'm inserting me. I've done this before where I've like not enjoyed a game and I've stuck with it. I'm like, I got to just kind of get through this type of thing. And then before long I burn out and I hate games for 2 weeks and then I come back. So I think it's important to touch on this, that this happens and it's okay when it happens.
It does.
Can you break down the clunkiness of the combat a little bit more in detail at all? Or is there like any, because I'm having a hard time piecing it together looking at the footage.
Yeah, the footage is kind of tough. And I am pretty early on. I know that he gets a lot more, abilities and things like that.
Okay,
but
I got you. No, I got you.
So I don't have a whole lot to say about that. But like I said, the combat, it was probably its strongest part.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a heavy attack, you've got a light attack, you've got a dodge, you've got a parry, you have like this like ultimate kind of move where you build up this bar and you can unleash a more devastating attack. But I just didn't get too far into the skill tree and stuff too. But like, the combat is fine. I think it's so heavily narrative.
Yeah.
That there's times where you're at 10-15 minutes and you're just like,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, where you're just like, okay, can we get on to and it'd be different if I felt like that part of it was like super well done and you're just super invested, but like the facial animations and stuff, it doesn't portray like it wants to. Like the game wants to be this heavy, narrative experience, but what you're seeing on screen doesn't match, and it's just hard to like get invested into this when it just isn't super well done. So
no,
I don't know.
I understand. No, I got you 100%.
I'm trying to explain it the best I can, but it's just.
No, I think you're doing great. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Okay.
You're making me feel bad for making you talk about it, but
no. I'm trying.
God damn it! I had something else I wanted to say, but so I think one of the problems that you're probably having, maybe I'm just inserting thoughts in your head, but this is a story that's been told fucking 100,000 times almost. So it's hard. Yep. It's hard when it's just like, okay, you kind of know where the conversation's going, but you're still trapped in the fucking narrative and stuff. And so, yeah, it's like, give me the goddamn game here, Chief.
That's kind of that's the feeling that I had. If if that stuff was done a little bit better, I'd be like, all right, this is cool, but like, it's not. So I want to get to the gameplay, and it seems like there's long stretches without it. And I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, let us know if you guys liked, I can't even say it.
It's Xuan Yuan.
Xuan Yuan Sword 7. Let us know if you've played it. Let us know if you like it. Yada, yada. All that stuff in the comments down below. Yep. Moving on to my most hyped game of the week. No, I don't know if that's true, but we're going to talk a little bit about Cosmic Run. This is, again, a game that the developer reached out to us on our email, spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com, and asked us to review the game. Nothing. No, I didn't get any fucking money, sponsorship, nothing for this. It's just,
you didn't get a swag bag?
Nope, no swag bag. He just reached out, and I was like, damn, hell yeah, dude, I'll check it out. Plus, I'd never heard of it. I mean, it's a very small project, but it's up my alley. We've talked about Survivor-likes.
Yep.
Just did it again, for fuck's sake. This is a Survivor-like that is in space, and it is pretty well done, I gotta be honest. I think, what I love about this is that he actually kind of went into the story behind the development of this game a little bit, which I was just in love with. So basically, it was a team of 3 friends, and they created this little project during a weekend. It was like they did like their own little indie jam where they just kind of decided they wanted to make something. So they set a weekend aside and put this little thing together. And then from that little indie jam, they got some federal funding, and so that allowed them to kind of take this project and expand upon it to be able to release it as a full game. So it literally started as a little game in a garage with a group of dudes just putting something together for fun, and is kind of being developed now as a fully fledged project, which is amazing. I just love that. I'm gonna, that's just incredible. So anyways, if you're watching the footage, it's very reminiscent of Vampire Survivors. You except in this game, you're in space, so you take control of a little UFO, and the developers have just gone wild with this game as far as like the narrative and stuff. And I think it's great because you can just feel their passion and how they're just having so much fun making this game, which is incredible. But you're not here for the story. You're just here for the gameplay. And the gameplay here is great. It works just as it should. These are very difficult games to talk about, and that's kind of why when I was making the video, I was a little bit nervous, because it's just a survivor. Like, you're just there to survive, and you're trying to blow up all the enemies on the screen. There's not much more to it than that, but it works here. The only complaint that I would really say that I had with this project at this point is there's no manual aiming system. It's entirely auto aim based. So there are these resource asteroids kind of spread out around the map that you can't hit because there's no way to aim at them. So you have to pray that one of your attacks hits it.
Just hits it.
Yeah. There are some abilities in the game that allow you to kind of predictably shoot. So there's like a zap laser that shoots to the left and right of your ship, and then there's this biotoxin pump that shoots up and kind of arcs over. So you can get these upgrades that allow you to predictably shoot, so you can take out these resource asteroids. But I don't like being forced into upgrade just as a utility reason.
Right. Is that the green, like the green asteroids that you're seeing? Is that the...
Yep, those are the resource asteroids.
Okay,
yep.
That's what I thought.
So the resource asteroids contain experience or health drops. So, that's one of the main gameplay loops in this game, is you're going to try to kind of hover enemies and kill them all in one area to get a bunch of XP on the ground. Then you go and pick it up and level up, and yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. But eventually you're going to get low on HP, and you're going to need to scavenge, and you're going to try to find one of these asteroids in this game's case, and you just desperately need health at that point, and you just can't reliably get it.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
I've had many runs die right next to an asteroid trying to get HP, and I just couldn't hit the damn thing, and it was that is a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I mean, their solution is these power-ups that are predictable enough to hit, but once the game fills up with enemies and stuff, even those aren't reliable, because like the biotoxin pump will break. So once the screen fills from the top and you're below an asteroid, you're hitting enemies and you still can't quite hit the fucking asteroid. But it's solid. I should have probably talked to Denise a little bit more. I don't know what they're releasing this at. I don't know if it's coming out at I don't know. I don't want to put words in their mouth on anything along those lines. It's still there's a free demo on Steam. I would recommend you guys check it out. Tell them we sent you for Pete's Peps, just to let them know that what we did actually helped their project out a little bit. But I don't know if this is going to be a for-profit game or not. I have not heard a fucking thing about that. I just know that right now there's a free demo you can play on Steam. It's fun enough. There's micro progression and macro progression, so you have account leveling as well as in-game leveling and stuff like that, which is all very crucial and important in these types of games. So they've got a really good project here. I like the foundation. I like the base here. I had a couple things that I said in the review of this that I would have liked to have seen, but honestly was probably out of place in that, because they said they were releasing in a month, and I don't think anything that I suggested is going to be implemented, or even I don't even know if that's what they wanted. They did say that they wanted feedback, but my feedback was like adding systems. Like I wanted a magnet power-up drop. I wanted...
I saw that you said that. I'm like, oh god, that would be perfect for this.
I wanted a magnet power-up drop. I wanted treasure chest, loot chest a little bit earlier in the run, because you don't get any of the currency that you need to level up your account until after the 5-minute mark. So that first run to get to 5 minutes is tough, because you don't have any account-based levels, so you have to grind a little bit to get there. And I would like to see maybe a treasure chest drop at around 3 minutes, or there's these mini bosses. It's very similar to Vampire Survivors that spawn every so often. If you kill them, they drop extra experience. I would like to see a treasure chest drop with one of those bosses early game. That way you do get a little bit of cash and maybe an early upgrade or something, just to kind of make the early game flow a little bit better. I think that the ship, I don't know. I think that the ship's a little too big for the screen. The screen space is crucial in this type of game, and the size of the ship just felt a little too large for me when I was trying to track through enemy attack patterns. So that was a little bit of a bummer. Again, that's not something they can change. I think best case scenario for this game, honestly, if they wanted to really reach a mass audience, would be there's a bunch of pilots in the game, but the pilots all operate the same UFO. I think if they really went crazy with this, and I know that I'm asking a lot here, but if they had a different ship of different shapes and sizes,
I knew that.
Yeah, that would really set this game apart to what other games in this genre have done, because then they would have a unique aspect, and I think that would really help to push this project forward. Even if they're minor, just different sizes to start with or something. That way there was something kind of unique that would draw people into this. I think it would do wonders for them. But again, this game comes out next month, so I might have just been completely out of place making those suggestions. But either way, it's cool. Check out the demo. The demo's free on Steam. This is not going anywhere but Steam. Again, it's a small team, very limited budget, and they put it where they could. So it's cool for what it is.
But even like you said, with the different ships, like even a ship that like had a slightly faster speed, or there's all kinds of things that you could do with something like this. So how long are did you mention how long like each run
I did not. That was my bad. So I only had access to the demo. I pretty much had a vertical slice that you would get at a game convention. I mean, I had pretty much nothing, but the first world is 15 minutes, and then it indicates that the second world is 30 minutes. The final world is 45 minutes. So when they get further in when they release the full project, I guess those are going to be a little bit longer runs. I'll be honest, I played it for 2 hours. I didn't even clear and maybe that makes me a bad reviewer. I didn't even get past the first stage, just because it got to a point where like the account-based progression is scaled for the full release. So it would have taken a lot of grinding for me to get enough of an account established to clear it easily, or relatively easily, I suppose. So I didn't stick with it that long. But that's just I played the damn demo for 2.5 hours. Give me a break. I tried.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So it's cool here. I think the art style I didn't love at first, but it grew on me a little bit. They have some cute little like comic book style explosions that like have like the text in them and stuff, and I just think that looks nice and stuff. But
it kind of fits.
Yeah, it does fit. I think it's cool, and again, I love indie development and stuff like that. So I vouch for this game. I think it's cool. I'm excited to see where it goes in the future, but still waiting on that.
Yep.
And they did comment on the review, and they said that they liked it and had some fun watching it.
Oh, there you go.
It worked out okay for me. I was nervous about that one, even though there was no stakes on the line. I was like,
I know, but
kind of nervous.
It's like our first one, though. Like,
yeah, it is our first one. It's going to go down in the record books that Cosmic Run was the first dev to reach out to us to talk about their game, and I don't even know how they found us, cool. but I love it. And it wasn't like a fucking mass email thing. They had our names in it, and like it was personalized to us. So that was like they genuinely reached out, and I was like, fuck yeah. I mean, if it was clearly like a mass marketing email, then I wouldn't have done it. But these guys like had our names in the header. I mean, it could have been a pre-generated email, but they personalized it a little bit at least, because like Spawn Point Network, I think our email is tied to me, and they still had Cameron and Jason. Like it was addressed to both. Like so they. Anyways, that was stupid. But I just wanted to put that out there. Anyways, check it out. Tell them that we sent you.
Right, but like you were saying, I mean, we'd be hypocrites if we didn't give our honest
100%.
opinions on these things.
100%.
You can't, just because they reached out to us, we can't be like, this is the greatest game I've ever played. You
Right.
have to still, you have to give your honest thoughts, and I think you did a great job of doing that.
Yep.
So
It's hard to do it respectfully. I tend to be very blunt. So I tried to be as respectful as I could, and I think I hopefully pulled it off. I
they
don't.
also
Go ahead.
No, they also said in the email, like, we've watched your content, we like what we see. So I would hope that they knew what they were gonna get with us talking about their stuff. So either way, that's cool.
Anyways, I would recommend checking this one out. I had to do this review because Jason doesn't have access to Steam in the future. Hopefully,
I do, but it wouldn't play very well, and I wouldn't have a good opinion to give on it. So
So anyways, cool. Check it out. Tell them that we sent you. We would really appreciate it. I know that's asking a lot for this community, but either way, cool project. I'm excited to see where it goes going forward.
Yep.
Okay, so let's move on from there. If you'll indulge me just a second, Jason, I want to talk about a couple things before we go into our Pragmata discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I am working through Resident Evil 7, or Jesus Christ, that's the wrong game. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I'm having a hard time sticking with it, though. I don't know what the problem is.
You've gone up and down with this one. Like, at first you're like, no, and then you're like, actually, I think it's growing on me, and now you're like, I don't know.
It's like it's so. It is so narrative driven that there's just I haven't really been in the mood to really sink into my couch. So I don't think it's the game's fault per se, but I still don't really love the combat here. I think the story's cool. I think it's getting better. Being as I'd never experienced the Final Fantasy VII story prior to this game, so this is all new to me. I think it's fun and cool, and I like where it's going. But I haven't played it in a week. And instead, I've been playing fucking pinball effects. I don't know what is going on with me in pinball right now. It's ridiculous. I checked my playtime on pinball effects. 25 hours I've played a pinball effect. What the fuck is going on? So anyways, if you're watching the podcast, they uploaded a new series on the channel called Pinball Archives. That episode released on Sunday, which is today for the recording. But anyways, you'll see it. If you go to our YouTube channel, that was the first episode. I've got another episode in the queue and another one in editing process right now. So I'm going to release those once a week until I inevitably get tired of it, but
get bored of it.
25 hours in pinball effects. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Either way, that's kind of what I've spent the majority of my game time on this week, other than Mixtape and Cosmic Run.
Yep.
So anyways, that's that. I know Jason's not had time, so I don't even want to fucking go into that. Unless you have anything other than what we're about to talk about.
I don't think I do. No.
Okay. Let's talk about my game of the year so far.
Nice.
Pragmata. This is my game of the year so far. This game fucks.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
So you finished it. How'd you feel? How'd you feel at the end?
Dude,
what are your final thoughts?
This game hit me, man. I kind of predicted, I guess, kind of what's gonna happen, but it still didn't make it any easier.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers, big spoilers. Which, God, man, I take forever with games. So if you haven't finished it yet out there, what are you doing? So yeah, it's so throughout the course of this game, you and Diana, your ultimate goal is you want to get back to Earth. And there's just a lot of stuff you got to do in order to get back to the Earth. There's a kind of a big bad that you got to kind of shut down because this AI that's built into the space station is kind of preventing you from making any progress or getting to where you need to ultimately find a ship to get back to Earth. So you got to take this thing down before you have any hope of leaving this space station on the moon. But eventually you do. You've got the final boss, which is basically another Pragmata, like Diana is. Her name is number 8. Diana was technically number 7, so then when they talk to each other, it's 7 and 8. And 8 is very heavily influenced by this Edis
Yep.
AI.
Yep.
They're kind of they're in cahoots with one another. So, Edis doesn't want you there. 8 doesn't want you there. So you're like, well, I'm gonna have to take these both out in order to escape the moon. So 8 is essentially the final boss. If you think about it, like, okay, Diana is this little android thing, and 8 is also this little android thing, but there is this substance that, like, how do you even explain this? Like, it's like
I don't even know how to explain it either. It's like corrupted. Fuck. What is
well,
the?
I can't even remember the fucking name of the
Everything
shit.
on the
But
space station is made by this material, and
yes,
so it's like a
it's like
modern 3D printer. It's filament or chromafilament
filament,
or something like that.
something like yes. So like this
Yeah,
filament, like 3D prints like
lunar filament.
everything,
Stupid.
lunar filament,
Yeah.
but then there's like this corrupted form of it, and that gets into stuff, and it essentially 8 has like the ability to like use that against anyone, like, well, essentially Hugh and Diana in this, like, she has this way of like using it to transform herself. So like when you think of 8 being the final boss, it's not just this little 8 android. She has this way of controlling the corrupted filament and turns into this big fucking monster
Yep.
thing that you got to take down. So I didn't find the final boss very challenging, although I had all the weapons that I enjoyed using maxed out. I had his suit super high HP, high damage on all my weapons, so I didn't die, during the final boss. There was a couple tricky parts, but once you learn her patterns and stuff, I didn't find it too tricky. But essentially you defeat her, and then you're like, sweet, everything's all good. But I knew that it wasn't all good because they keep showing these little hints that Hugh has been affected by this corrupted filament. You start seeing these things on his neck that are kind of reaching up to his face, and that's what happened to uh, all of the researchers and stuff that were on this moon base. They were killed by this stuff, and it's affecting Hugh. So you defeat this final boss. Diana is like, "Oh, good, we can get out of here." You find this escape pod essentially that can get you back to Earth, and you put Diana in this pod, and you're like, well, hang on, just you go in first because I need to kind of push this thing down this rail system in order to get it into the right place to launch off into Earth. So Diana's like, okay. She's all happy, waiting for you to get there, and then finally it gets to this final place, and Hugh's looking at her through the window, and it's basically like, I can't go.
Yep.
Like, I'm dying, and Diana like freaks out, and it's it's emotional. Like,
Yep.
you're just
It
like,
is.
Diana's just like, no, Hugh, no,
Yeah.
you're not staying here. You're going with me. And he's like, I can't. And what the real turning point was, this escape pod needed more battery or power essentially, and Hugh takes his main power pack out of his suit and puts it into this thing, and then that's like the point where you're like, well, Hugh's not gonna survive too much longer without that. So
Right.
yeah, Diana just kind of screeches off towards Earth, and Hugh kind of
Phase
floats,
back. Yeah.
fades into the back, and it's, man, they build up, they do such a good job of their relationship through this game that it just hurts
Agreed.
that much more
Yep.
when they essentially have to get separated
Yeah.
at the end. So
100%. I felt the
yep,
same way. It just sucked.
it
There
sucked.
is a secret ending I looked up that hints that Hugh might have made it. So,
Yep, saw that.
we'll see. I would
Yeah.
love a sequel for this game.
Oh, dude.
The whole Pragmata thing, like, is basically the creation of a researcher on the moon, whose daughter on
Oh,
Earth has a uncurable disease or something. So
yes, a disease.
He's replicating her over and over again to try to harvest, I'm assuming, some part of them to install on his daughter on Earth or something. She ends up dying eventually, but basically Seven, or Diana, is a duplicate of his daughter, and she like it harnesses all the emotional components and things like that, and is more like a actual 6-year-old. And then 8 is more logical based, I guess, and she's got more of the like attachment to her father traits. So when the researcher finally dies, she embodies like his desire to like exact revenge for it not being fair that his daughter died, and that's kind of what drives her to follow Adis or whatever and try to destroy the planet by sending all this corrupted filament to Earth.
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that.
Yeah, so that's kind of the motivation behind 8. But I just thought this game was fantastic, and I'm glad you finished it recently because it's been a while for me. But the oh my god, I'm having a stroke. What was I gonna say? Jesus Christ. Where was I going there? I remember getting to the end of this game and I was sad for the story narrative, but I was like, God, I could have used another couple hours here. You know what I mean? Like, I could have used a little bit more. I wanted more when I got to the end of this game.
I was doing what you said you were doing. You were like delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
You know, of finishing this. I did go back to like it reads out the percentage of like how many things that you've collected throughout all the different stages, and I did go back, and originally my plan was try to 100%, you know, all of these stages. I did like 3 of them at 100%, and I got to like 80 on one and like 90% on the other one, and I'm like, that's enough, because some of these like chests and stuff that they count towards your percentage are just like, you know, the level design I think is really good. It's just that some of the chests and stuff are like, it's linear, but it's not like they're kind of big open areas, and some of the chests I'm just like, how the fuck do you get to this thing? And I'm like, I started and towards the end just be like, that's fine, I don't need that. I'm like almost max leveled at this point. I don't need all that stuff. So
I had some difficulty with 8, I think, because I was not max level, so I had some struggles. I remember I remember telling you I had some struggles with the final boss, and that
you said you died like once.
So anyways, I think this is a phenomenal game. I think it's really good. It's a game I would recommend highly to pretty much anybody. It's not going to hold you hostage. I think I played it in 9 hours, something like that.
You said 9. 9. Mine was at like 13.
Yeah. So it's not going to hold you hostage, and I think it plays great. Really, really mechanically fantastic.
Yep.
Capcom, man, they're crushing.
Killing it.
Just fucking crushing.
And before we end on this, and since we are talking spoilers, if you do finish this, do the wait through the credits, and there's a post credit scene that it pulls at your heartstrings even more.
Yeah,
it's like Diana's favorite thing that she wanted to do with Hugh back on Earth was visit the beach, and you know, we've already mentioned that Hugh doesn't go with her, and Diana's on the beach, you know, basically without Hugh, and it's just like, God damn it, man,
that fucking sucks.
It sucks.
Heartbreaker, but game is really, really cool. Thing just died. I love this game. It's gonna be one of my highlights of the year. I think narratively it's really, really impressive. I don't even know if we should talk about, like, the internet's saying like GTA 6 might not be able to top it. I think that's fucking crazy, but narratively, this game is really solid, and I really enjoy it. High recommendation for me, like a 8.5, 9 for me, probably.
I'd step right. Yeah, I'm right there with you. 8.5, 9 is kind of what I was thinking.
So yeah, very solid game. You guys should check it out. Let us know what you think about it. It's awesome. We're gonna go ahead and move right along. We're gonna take a little quick breaky poo, and then we got some news to cover, which is a little bit heftier because we did a mini last week.
We did.
Got some shite to talk about. So stick with us. We will be right back.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Spawn Point Podcast. We are on to the news section, which Cam mentioned is pretty hefty. So bear with us. There's some good articles in here. So
yes, sir.
What do you got up first for us, Cam?
Up first, you have 4 days to buy LEGO 2K Drive before it is delisted, only 3 years after launch. This is just disgusting because I fucking don't like any game being delisted. So basically what that means is you're not going to be able to purchase it anymore. You can probably still get it pre-owned at places or whatever, but
yeah, physical.
LEGO 2K Drive was, I guess, a like a Forza Horizon game, but it was all Lego stuff. I never played this. I texted Jason when I saw the article and asked him if he did, and he did play it a little bit. So I was debating on whether or not I should scoop it, but based on what you said, probably won't.
I didn't have the strongest opinion on this. I was excited for this, like when it came out, because they did kind of advertise it as kind of like a Lego Forza, but I didn't have a whole lot of fun driving around this world. It just didn't flow very well for me. But yeah, we're not really here to talk about that. But yeah.
So, anyways, if you want this, get it before you can't, type of thing.
Basically,
once you purchase it, you'll have it forever. They said in the article here that the online services for the game will still be active until May 31st of 27. So you still have a year of online play, whatever that equates to in this game. I don't know if you play these for multiplayer anyways, but
nope.
Servers aren't going down, but the game will not be purchasable. So there you go. Sucks, but I guess.
Did they go into why? I mean, I did kind of look through this a little bit, but like why do games like this get like delisted? I don't fully
Most of the
understand
time it's due to
that.
music. Most of the time.
Oh,
due to
really?
music licenses.
Okay.
This was weirdly developed by the 2K team, so like the NBA 2K guys and the WWE guys, so it's kind of a weird thing. It doesn't specifically say what it was, but typically it's a license expires. Okay. It could be honestly, it could be a license with Lego as a company. Expired,
true.
It could be something like that, but it doesn't specifically say. But again, a 3 years and then being removed is just
that's what's kind of surprising to me. But okay,
it didn't have a long shelf life. It's modern gaming industry. Shout out to Stop Killing Games initiative in Europe. It's making waves. So this shit won't happen anymore if that actually goes through, at least in Europe. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Anywho's, I got another one, I guess, real briefly here.
Yeah.
Shift Up says it will publish Stellar Blade 2 instead of Sony. It's going to self-publish. They stated that they want to reach a broad global audience from day one. So Stellar Blade, a game I really enjoyed. It's a Souls-like. I thought the game was pretty niche as it was.
Yeah.
Even more niche, I guess, that it was a PlayStation published exclusive. But they want to go and expand its reach with self-publishing. So I think that's cool. I don't know if it's going to do a lot, to be honest. I mean, I think if you just drop the sequel on Xbox, you're going to struggle because people don't have access to the original game, which,
right,
obviously isn't great, but it's a solid game. It's a fun Souls-like, really interesting concept, just very Japanese inspired. And it was a cool game. It was a really cool game. So I just thought it was worth mentioning. I mean, this is probably next gen we're talking about here. Stellar Blade 2 just released last year, I think, or 2 years ago. I think it was last year, actually. So a little bit of time on this one, but it's cool to see them kind of breaking away. So they must have done well enough with Stellar Blade to be able to do that. So good for them.
They must have. And this is the game where the main protagonist, the lead character, was actually modeled after the developer's wife, which was kind of crazy.
I didn't know that.
It's a 3D scan of her.
That's crazy.
Of his wife. I know.
Well, he must be fucking living good, because 90% of the internet was bitching about the hot fucking protagonist. Like, Jesus H. Christ. So that's
guy's
probably like fuck you.
Fuck you, man. That's my wife.
Yeah, I just thought it was like, hey, he made an attractive main character. But no, if he modeled it after his wife, good on that fucking dude, man. Let's go.
Exactly. And she is a model in real life. So.
Oh, shit. Yeah, fuck all those people then, dude. It was modeled after a real person, dude. Shit, that's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. You can do, I mean, there's some fucking outfits in this game, I'll tell you.
Oh, I've heard.
Anyways, yeah, so we'll see what happens with Stellar Blade 2. That game was cool. I'm excited to see it go elsewhere. It's just maybe the reach is going to be bigger, but still restricted because it's going to be a secret. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. So, Overwatch is coming to Fortnite in an all-new collab event. So Epic Games has unveiled the next major collaboration hitting Fortnite's ecosystem in the very near future, and it is centered around Overwatch. So in a post on social media, Epic revealed a slew of Overwatch characters coming to Fortnite. Well, this says tomorrow, so I'm guessing are they already in there? Would be my guess.
When is that? I don't fucking play Fortnite, dude.
The 14th. I know. So
I don't know.
Anyway,
man.
The post showed that the Overwatch character Diva, Genji, Tracer, and Mercy are going to be in Fortnite. Yeah, so May 14th. So it's already happening. So they'll land on the island and be playable characters in the Fortnite universe. So this is weird, and I don't care. I just wanted to throw this in. We've talked about Fortnite a little bit, and we talked about Overwatch. I mean, you can't not, with as popular as these games are these days, but just another freaking tie-in into the Fortnite world. It's just a weird one, I think, because it's like Overwatch is its own thing, and Fortnite is its own thing, and to bring those characters in, it's just weird. Don't know how I feel about it, so.
They're pulling the string that they can. So.
I know that's kind of how I felt. Like they're just trying, man.
I don't know. Epic has to eventually realize that not every game is permanent, right? I mean, some point, like
you got to move on to the next thing. I
don't think they have plans for the next thing. That's the thing.
I don't think they do either.
They kind of did Fortnite FN or the community thing, and then that kind of fizzled out. They're starting to pull projects off of that, like we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't envy their position.
Another weird thing about this is like, you've got your. I'm assuming there's some overlap between Fortnite players and Overwatch players. Some, but like to think of these Overwatch characters play like such a particular way, and then. To bring them over to Fortnite, they're not going to play the same. It's just basically a skin, and it's like, it's like, oh, okay.
But that's how
maybe a cooler sounding idea than an actual implementation of these characters. So,
I mean,
anyway,
Genji has a fucking sword, so I don't. Yeah. I mean, it makes his sword's just going to be a pickaxe, but he's still going to wield
It's going to be
a
pickaxe. Yeah. And sure, maybe they'll up the damage output of the sword so that it's more of a
that would unbalance the game. I don't get it, man. I don't know. Fortnite's going to keep trucking for
it sure is.
I don't know. It is what it is. Get your Tracer stuff. I guess they buffed her butt again, so she's got a big old bubble butt in Fortnite. Sweet.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
it's just what we need.
Moving on from there. Capcom just sold more games than any year in its history last fiscal year. So
freaking crazy, man.
We just talked about this. I don't know why the fuck I did this. Anywho, so this is the last fiscal year. So the last release for their fiscal year was Resident Evil Requiem. This does not include Pragmata.
It does not.
In total, Capcom sold 59.07 million games during the business year, up from 51.87 million in the prior year. Anyways, that's just cool. Capcom's been around since fucking NES, probably arcade. And this is their most profitable year to date, which is great news because the industry is fucking in shambles. So I'm very excited that a developer still making moves in the right direction, and Capcom is making some fucking games, dude. Like they're not bullshit ass microtransaction stuffed game. Like these are mostly single player only, except for the Monster Hunter series, and Street Fighter and yada yada. But primarily their sales are being driven by Resident Evil, it seems like. But that's a single player story driven game, and they're doing incredibly well for themselves, which just proves that does have a place in gaming still, even though 98.2% feel like they're all playing Fortnite, buying Overwatch skins. So that's just good. I just wanted to mention this because it's important. These games still fucking sell, and it's awesome.
And you mentioned that, like, Pragmata is not on this list, but like, Pragmata is a brand new IP, like, and it freaking rules. Like, you're not seeing as much of that, recently with these, a brand new IP that's just hitting as hard as it is, and it's just they're killing it.
Pragmata sold 2 million copies in its opening weeks, which is fantastic. And then, of course, we have Onimusha, the new Onimusha that they're reviving this year, coming as well. And then I guess a new Mega Man game or something.
I heard 27 kind of inklings of that.
Yeah. So, anyways, we got some stuff coming from Capcom. They're still crushing, and I think that's great. They had a resurgence in recent years. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yepper.
Next up, GTA 6 pre-orders may start as soon as next week, according to a Best Buy employee. So, he's a live streamer. Frogboy X1 Gaming was checking his phone when he received an email from Best Buy's affiliate program, informed him that pre-order campaign for physical copies of GTA 6 would take place from May 18th to May 21st, with affiliates able to receive 5% for each sale they link to. So, you might start seeing an influx of content creators trying to push GTA 6 now, like that's not already happening, but it may happen in more frequently. This has not been confirmed as of yet. The 18th is the day of this podcast release, so I guess you'll know if we are right on this or not. It's still kind of a leak or so at this point, but that is what it is. We know that game's coming. It's inevitable. This is going to come through. The main thing I wanted to talk about is tied to the end of this article, which is something I don't know if we've touched on. Well, we've touched on it, but not like in detail. But basically, a Bank of America analyst suggested that Rockstar should raise the price of GTA 6 to $80 for the benefit of the entire games industry. So they say. I don't agree with that at all. No. But yes, whatever. It says, as blockbuster video games continue to become more expensive to make, securities stock analyst Omar Desoki, sorry if I butchered that, argues that selling the much-anticipated GTA sequel for the now standard $70 price point could negatively impact other games looking to raise their own prices to become more sustainable. Last year, analyst Matthew Ball of Epsilon also claimed that there was hope among figures in the games industry that GTA 6 could cost up to $100 so that other companies could raise their default prices as well amid global inflation and swelling AAA development costs. Boo is right. So we had a article, I know we talked about that the one of the main dudes at Rockstar said it was not going to be $100. So I don't know where we're going here. I don't even think it said it wasn't going to be 100. He said it was going to be reasonably priced or something that led
something like that.
That led to it. He basically, in that article, he disproved the $100 thing, but it still could sell at 80 or something. I don't.
Right. He just said he wanted to squash the $100 rumors, but he didn't land on a set price. So we'll see.
We'll see. I think that I think this could realistically ship at $79.99 full price. That's already being done by Nintendo, isn't it?
Yep. They were the first ones.
So that's realistic, I would say. But again, I don't think this sets a new industry standard. I think GTA 6 is so big that if other companies follow suit with this pricing model, the whole industry is gonna suffer.
Yeah.
I don't. That's just my opinion. It's not like it just becomes a new standard. It's like this game is so above and beyond other projects that it can pull that shit. I don't think a lot of games could. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah, exactly. I think we have the same feeling with, that whole Bank of America thing, saying that they should do that. I don't think they should do that, because it is going to set a unrealistic expectation for other, developers. But in a way, Rockstar's kind of done this to themselves, like, delaying this game, and they keep saying all the stuff that they're putting into it. They want to make it the most fleshed out experience they possibly can. It's like, and that's fantastic, but don't expect gamers to keep, like, every time they delay it and they want to put more and more into it, like, gamers aren't like, okay, well, I'll pay another $10 then, or I'll pay another $10, for this. It's like, dude, that's not what we want. We want a great game, but like the more you're putting into this does not, facilitate a higher price every time that you want to try to delay this game to put more into it. Just get the freaking game out, and
So I've never had that like opinion on it. Like I don't think I don't think so much like they're adding feature sets in to increase the price. Like, I don't think that's their take necessarily. No. I just think that GTA is like, the biggest for gamers, this is like the biggest release of all time. Plus, it's been over a decade since GTA 5. So there's like a lot of hype around this game. And to the point that Rockstar's track record is so flawless and untainted that they could release it higher. like I said, I think it would definitely still sell at a higher price point. But I'm just telling you, if other developers start releasing at 80 as a standard, the industry's going to fucking suffer. Bad.
Yep.
Bad. Yep. This is a completely different circumstance.
100%. I think that's what I was trying to get at. Like, not everyone is Rockstar. So you just because they set something at 80 does not mean everything else should be set at that. So
nope.
Yep.
I don't know, man. GTA 6 still coming. I'm kind of excited for this to come out. Well, for multiple reasons. I want to play it, but also I'd like to stop talking about it as well.
I know. I want to talk about it because we're playing the game, not like, all this build up towards it.
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ. Okay, moving on into PlayStation, which is kind of my zone. PlayStation. Yep. SAROS had a lukewarm at best start with only 300 units sold in 2 weeks.
300,000.
300, yes. What did I say, 300? 300 really fucking bad.
That'd be pretty bad.
300,000 sold in 2 weeks, analytics firm estimates. The game may struggle to break even, they say, but those buying it are playing it a lot. So, sucks. I am not... I love SAROS as a game. I love its mechanics, and that's what's most important, and the game does capitalize on those fantastically. This is very sad to me, though, that it's underperforming, I guess. They said that the company suggested that the game's reported development budget was around $76 million, and it's potentially going to struggle to even break even, which is really bad for Housemarque.
That's real bad.
That raises some alarm bells for me. I love Housemarque. I love Resogun. I love Returnal. I love SAROS to a point in the story. I got some flack on that opinion on YouTube as well. Somebody didn't like my take, which is fine. That is what it is. Everybody's got different things, but anyways, I just wanted to bring this up because now I'm going to have to keep my eyes on news sources to make sure Housemarque doesn't get shut down. But
oh my god,
it is good that people that are playing the game are playing it a lot. People are. I mean, which makes sense. This game is a fucking very good mechanically playing game. It's very, very solid. Housemarque continues to strive in that, and this game feels great. The DualSense haptic feedback and stuff is fantastic. I mean, it's a really great playing game. We'll just have to keep our eyes on it. Unfortunately, the way the industry is, you can't really have a flop without repercussions. So we'll have to watch. Hopefully.
I feel like this is one of those examples where, like, going bigger is not always better. Like, if you're going to put more and more money into something, like, you gotta hope that it hits better than your previous games, or you're going to struggle and you're going to go under because of that.
Well, I don't think that Returnal was necessarily a critical success. It was more or less kind of a cult classic in a lot of ways. So people that played it loved it, but it wasn't like a mega seller. So
Didn't
I guess
take over the world.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't surprise me that this game kind of fell into the same trappings, and it's probably going to go down as the same sort of story. It's going to be a cult hit for those that play it and stop at the right time, but maybe not mass audience trending, things like that. I don't know. Anyways, we'll just keep an eye on it. Sucks. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
Hate it.
PlayStation Plus editions for May. We are getting Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe the PS4 version, which did they release the PS5 version? I'm not sure. Doesn't matter.
Maybe they didn't.
Maybe they didn't. Either way, Red Dead Redemption 2 fucks really hard, so I'm sure everybody that's watching this has played it. So you get Star Wars Outlaws on PS5 as well, Bramble the Mountain King, the Thaumaturge, and Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn.
Siege of Dawn.
And Broken Sword, damn, this is badly worded. Broken Sword, Shadows of the Templar Reforged, and Enotria, the last song, Standard Edition. Enotria is a game I wanted to get into. Another Souls-like, but let's just say I started Butterfly Game Girl thing. What the fuck just came out for free? Something Feathers, Fallen Feathers.
What? I don't know.
God damn it! What's the name of the guy? Dude, that slips my mind. Is terrible. What the hell's the name of that game? Fucking Souls-like just released on PlayStation Plus. I don't know. You got anything you want to talk about so I can?
That's your area. I don't know. I don't know that game. No, I mean
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Sorry, God, I started that and I only played it for 6 minutes, and then I went back to playing pinball. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we also get Time
that really
Crisis.
held your attention.
Yeah. I don't think I hated it. I just didn't want to start it before I left for Nebraska, and then I got back and haven't played anything but fucking pinball, dude. Time Crisis we also get as well. So there you go.
Yeah, that's a game.
So if you're looking forward to any of those, you can get those on your subscription. Moving on to
Xbox. Xbox doesn't have a tag thing like PlayStation.
Nope.
Xbox. So let's just we've been talking about Helix now for a while. So the rumor is that Project Helix, the next console from Xbox, is unlikely to include a disk drive, but Xbox may have a digital solution. So people have been talking whether or not this is going to have a disk drive, but reports are saying that it most likely will not. So Windows Central Jez Corden has mentioned that based on his hints that he's received about the nature of Xbox's Project Helix, it will be a fully digital system similar to today's gaming PCs, laptops, and most modern devices. So he says, I thoroughly expect the next gen Xbox Helix console PC hybrid to be without a disk drive. So hints I've received about the nature of the Xbox increasingly point to the idea that it will be a fully digital system similar to today's gaming PCs and laptops, like I just said. For what it's worth, he also goes on to mention that he'd be incredibly surprised if the PS6 didn't end up going the same way. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I am kind of a digital player now, but the fact that it just wouldn't be included at all kind of is, I guess, a little bit surprising. There are a lot of physical collectors still out there. So, but the one thing that is kind of cool about this, I guess, is he highlights that based on some very early investigations, Xbox might be working on some kind of a disc to digital platform that would provide entitlements based on your physical library. The key thing here is that details are said to be incredibly scant. So even Jez himself said that you should take this with a huge pinch of salt. So what I have read, and I think it was actually a different article that I should have kind of put in here, but they're doing some sort of system where they will look at what physical games you have played on your system and allow you to basically turn those into digital copies of the game. The thing that I find weird, though, is you could rent a game and have it show up on your system, and then how do they know that you still own that game. Like, that's the details that I'm still kind of curious about, as far as like if they're going to turn your physical games into digital versions that you can play without having a disk drive. It's not like you can pop it in and be like, okay, here's your check, once a week, month, or whatever, that you own this game. How are they going to do that?
Good question. Great question. I think you're on the right track there. I think that, well, I don't even fucking understand how that would work.
I don't either.
Because if the console goes full digital, there's not going to be physical game releases, period. So this is only talking back compat, I think, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because you can't put a disc in it, so how the fuck are you even going to register it?
Right.
You'd have to put it in on your Xbox Series X. Then the license would transfer to your Helix. For why? So
right.
I don't know. I guess it doesn't surprise me that they're going fully digital. Like I mean,
it doesn't.
All pre-builts that you buy PC wise are digital disc driveless. But you can see what that's done. There's no more physical PC games you can purchase anywhere. And if you can, they're fucking old, fucking edu learning games and stuff like that.
Old,
so
yeah.
Doesn't surprise me. Boy, it's going to piss some people off, though. I can tell you that.
Sure is.
There's the big thing is you don't own anything that you don't own your games type of thing. I mean, it just points back to the beginning of our news discussion with Lego 2K Drive. If you have that game physical, you don't have to worry about nothing. I guess if you have it digital, you don't either, but they can revoke that at any time and just have it not be playable. High Guard's a good example. Game release, it's live service is completely gone. You can't even launch it.
Shut down.
Yep. Nope. So doesn't surprise me. I think what you're, I was going to say the way that they handle the rental situation, which I don't even think that market exists anymore. To be honest,
it doesn't. I'm just saying, or you buy a pre-owned game, put it in your system, and then resell it, and your system still shows that you play that game. So I just don't understand how they're going to do that part of it.
It's the 30-day licensing shit we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think you got that on the nuts. That you would have to actually have that checked every 30 days.
Yep.
So I mean,
but how without a disk drive?
With that, exactly.
That's what it keeps coming back to.
I don't work for them, but
no, whatever.
I would just imagine it's not going to be backwards compatible friendly. That's kind of it.
No, it won't.
They'll transfer your digital project titles over, but that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't like that either, but I don't even like that we're talking about new consoles yet. So
I don't either.
There's that.
Yeah.
So
well, then let's move on.
Two unannounced Xbox controller surface, including the Elite Series 3 and the Cloud Pad. So this is kind of funny. The Cloud Pad. Xbox Series 3 controller leak here. I mean, it looks like it's on somebody's dirty ass floor or something. I don't even know if we can believe this or not, to be fair. Got the paddles on the back. You can see from the bottom if you're looking at the video footage. It's got that weird, like, Elite style D-pad thing that they do. It's like a big disc.
Love that.
Yeah. So there's that, but that's not why I put this on here. This fucking Cloud Pad controller.
What the fuck?
Is horrendous. I know you guys can't see it if you're listening to the pod, but it literally looks like a fucking SNES controller almost with Xbox branding on it. It's very tiny. They have it next to a triangle, or a square, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a builder boy, but it looks absolutely tiny. But I think this is the device that they're saying that you can, if you get Game Pass on your TV, you can use this controller with your, next to your remote and kind of play with
I got out of this.
Yeah. Yep. And this thing looks uncomfortable as fuck. So
it is not ergonomic at all.
It's literally a fucking, I mean, if you can picture a SNES controller with maybe a little bit of a bubble on the dog bone, that's kind of exactly what this thing is.
But think of a SNES controller with two control sticks, still with the D-pad and the buttons. So like a small controller with a lot more stuff on it. So a SNES controller just had literally the directional pad and buttons. So there's just more stuff on this, but still on a small controller. It's just it's ugly and
ugly as fuck. This thing would have to be sold for like $20 tops.
Which you know it won't.
Yeah, you know it won't, but I mean, shit. I mean, if you could just Bluetooth a regular Xbox, why would they not just? I don't understand. Clearly, though. I mean, if you're using Game Pass on your TV or something and not like, and just using the cloud streaming services, you're not probably a real hardcore gamer. So this isn't obviously marketed at Jason or I, but
no.
To play Balatro or something, you'd be fine with this thing. But boy,
sure.
Boy, I don't know about that, man.
I don't either.
I just thought it was funny that it popped up. And and I was scrolling through it looking, I'm like, oh, okay, the Elite controller, I can kind of see that, but whatever. And then this fucking little turd pops up. And then you see
that. But that's exactly what it's for. Like you said, it's for, like if somebody wants to just sit on their couch and turn on their TV and go, I'm just going to play some stuff, through the cloud. And this is my controller that I use, but I'm not a hardcore gamer. And this, maybe this is fine for them. I don't know.
It just sits right by your remote in your entertainment center.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But just hilarious.
Okay.
I just literally got a belly laugh when I scrolled down the article and saw it. I was like, that's just fucking hilarious.
Like, what is that?
Yeah. Very funny. All right. You know what time it is?
It's Nintendo time!
So, Nintendo is not, what's the word I want to say here? They're susceptible to the price increase, just like every other thing that's out there. So the Switch 2 is getting a price increase, and it actually has already. Wait, does it say the 25th? Okay, so maybe it hasn't happened yet, but on May 25th, the Switch 2 systems are going up by essentially $50. That's going to translate to what?
It's not bad, actually.
No, it's not bad, actually. No. I don't think it is. But essentially that translates to whatever. I don't know all these different, the Japanese, currencies and stuff, all the yens and stuff. But for the US, it's going up $50. So the standard model without a game is $499.99, and it's going up to, I'm sorry, it was $49.99. And now it's going up to $499.99. So it's a $50 increase. We kind of all saw this coming. Nintendo was trying really hard to not have this happen, but it was inevitable. So I just wanted to throw this in that the Switch 2 system is going up by $50. So
yeah, and that's, I mean, Nintendo's been talking about this too. Like they gave us plenty of forewarning if you paid attention that this is inevitable. It's going to happen at some point. I'm actually, I mean, it's never good to have a price increase, but $50 is not bad, especially when the PS5 and the Series X and S have both increased multiple times, and every time was more than $50. So, it's just the way the world is right now. So it doesn't surprise me at all. But you have just a teeny bit more time to get one for $50 off if you want to spend the money on one right now. But not surprising.
And the cool thing is like, the Switch 2 did become readily available in stores. You can see them everywhere. So I mean, it's not like you have to be like, oh, it's going up by $50. I gotta try to search to find one. As of right now, you can still find them readily in stores. So now's your chance.
Now's your chance.
Scoop one of these up. Go get it.
Go get it.
Go get her. Yep. Next up, this was kind of a surprise. So Nintendo just dropped a direct on the next Star Fox game. So for the second time now, Nintendo is remaking Star Fox 64. So they did it once for what was it, the DS?
3DS. I thought
3DS, yeah. And now they are doing it again for the Switch 2. So after nearly a decade, which is crazy, one of Nintendo's most beloved franchises is finally making its comeback, Star Fox. And they're just staying with Star Fox. was announced during a surprise Nintendo Direct, which is a full remake of the classic Star Fox 64, and it is coming out in, where does it say? Soon. June?
Soon.
July?
June 25th.
June 25th. Yep. So anyway, this, I got home the other day last week, and I got a notification on the Nintendo Today app that there is a Direct starting soon. And I'm like, what is this? So, of course, I just got my phone out and waited. And sure enough, they did a Direct on the new Star Fox game. So if you played Star Fox 64, essentially the setup is going to be the same, but they've completely reworked the visuals. It's a complete overhaul this time.
Yeah.
There are some added things in, a slightly expanded multiplayer suite. So instead of just being, split screen, now you can play this stuff, online or with game share. So that was pretty cool, but still kind of an on rails space shooter, just with a whole new fresh coat of paint. So taking advantage of the Switch 2's, hardware. So
do you think that they keep remaking this because the modern interpretation of a all new Star Fox game wouldn't work?
I don't see how they couldn't figure out a way to make this work. It's almost like Nintendo is like, they haven't figured out how to take Star Fox into the next stage.
They simply have not. You're right.
They have not.
They made Star Fox Adventure on GameCube, and that was the last experimental project because you had Fox kind of running around in that game.
And honestly, that had more out of ship stuff than it had.
Yeah, there was almost no ship stuff in Adventure.
There was almost no ship stuff in that one. So yeah, they're just doing it again. I mean, Star Fox 64 came out in 2011, and it's just like they're just doing it again. But I guess for the
Star Fox 64 came out way later, earlier than that. The 3DS was 11.
Oh, the 3DS. Yes, sorry, that was that.
I don't know. I think that might have been 99 or something for the 64 version, but
I think 97
okay.
was the original one. Yeah, the 2011 ones was the Star Fox 64 3DS version. So
see, I don't know how. I am of the opinion that I don't know if a new Star Fox would work, just in the normal format. I don't know. How would you?
The best way that I think that it would work was, we've talked about this before. There is that game.
We've not talked about anything before, Jason. This is the first episode of the
that's right. Yeah, we keep. Man, you're rubbing off on me. The Starlink game that I've talked about. Okay, so Starlink is
I mentioned like an asshole because you've talked about it. I'm sorry.
There is a Nintendo version of Starlink that includes Star Fox and the characters.
Oh yeah, this game. Okay, yeah, I got
Starlink was cool. It was that the only thing that was dumb about it was the Toys to Life thing, where you could attach you build these little ships and you use the, what do they call that thing where you put it on your controller and it brings
Amiibos.
Amiibo kind of support the NFC type of thing, where so there's that part of it. I played this game, didn't use any of that, and it was totally fine. And that was I think you had 10 some planets that you can explore. We compared it a little bit to No Man's Sky in a sense that you can open world these planets and then fly up into the the solar system and then go visit other planets. I feel like that would work as a new version of Star Fox, but maybe they don't want to do that because other games have done it already and possibly better than what they could do. I don't know. So that would be my only way that I think that a new Star Fox could work.
I mean, you agree though, the linear fucking on rails shooter thing. I don't think it would work in its original format.
No, I don't think it would either. They would have to do something new.
But I mean, you could do that in a structure like Starlink, like you said. I think
you could.
That might be the only way they could do it. It just makes me wonder why they haven't, I guess.
I don't understand.
Very interesting. I mean, we did get this I mean, Super Mario Galaxy movie had Star Fox in it, so people were starting to hypotheticalize that this was coming, so to speak, or whatever. And so
yeah,
that was all coming true. It's just, what are they gonna do? Fucking remake 64 every 10 years for the rest of time? I don't even like
people. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if I love the character model.
I do not like them. Some people are like, I mean, I'm pretty religiously on the Panax app, and some people were like, they really like the new anime characters. I don't, but that's just me.
And he doesn't even look like the there was rumors that this was coming. We didn't know exactly what they were going to do, but with Fox McCloud being in the Star Wars Galaxy movie, people are like, oh, there's a new Star Fox game coming. And there is, but there isn't at the same time. No, it's a remake of
a derpy fucking face.
It is.
Derpy.
He does not look like that. And one of the things that I keep thinking about is like Nintendo fans, like I'm a Nintendo fan, but it's like they don't, like, people are excited about this. Like I saw some stuff online and people are like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. But it's like they're not willing to like move on and like accept a new form of one of their favorite franchises. And it's like, come on. Like they're just excited for another remake. I don't know. I am too, and I will play this, but it's just like, okay. It's just
I mean,
Star Fox 64 again.
We're killing this conversation, but like, I don't know. It's tough. I feel like we covered it all. I just don't know. I'm not going to repeat it. We already talked about it. You have this. You have the formula. Maybe you should work at Nintendo and be like, hey, listen here, shitheads. Here's what we need to do with this, and it'll sell hotcakes. Because if people are this excited to play 64 for the third fucking time,
I know.
Imagine the hype around a new Star Fox game. While you're at it, when you go to work at Nintendo, can you get them on a new F-Zero also for me, please?
No shit.
Good Lord.
What are you doing? Okay. Anyway, I think that's enough of that.
That's good. Moving on from there.
Oh, yeah. So the last little Nintendo article I've got here is that Elden Ring Tarnished Edition and Dustbloods are still coming to the Switch 2 this year. Katakawa reconfirms. So there has been a lot of speculation about the possible delays of Elden Ring and the Dustbloods for Switch 2. Featuring following their initial announcements, we've all been just kind of like, what is happening? Where are these games? Because there just been very few updates. But thankfully, it now seems that FromSoft's plans have not changed for both titles. So Katakawa, the parent company of FromSoft, has officially confirmed in its latest financial report for the last fiscal year, which ended on March 31st, that Elden Ring and the Dustbloods for Nintendo Switch 2 have not been delayed. So both are still planning on coming out in 2026. We just are very concerned that we haven't seen or heard anything about these yet. So, yeah.
I hate to do it again, but we've talked about this before. I hate to do it again, but this is now probably the second or third time that Katakawa's had to come out and confirm that they're still targeting 26 or whatever. Maybe just give us a fucking, like, some gameplay on the Dustbloods. We still haven't even gotten that. We've only got the trailer, and that's it.
The initial trailer.
We've got no, like, gameplay. Give us, I mean, obviously, it's becoming such an issue that you keep having to fucking repeat yourself every couple months. So maybe give us something. I still don't get the whole Elden Ring releasing the same year as the Dustbloods thing. I just don't know if that makes a lot of fucking sense. Just because they're kind of cannibalizing themselves, I would imagine there. But maybe not, I guess. I mean, Elden Ring is kind of big across all major platforms, so I feel like since the Dustbloods is a new IP, it's not going to cannibalize it as much, but...
Well, but the thing is, Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, was supposed to be out already, and it was supposed to be out for a while. And I think that's it's going to get to the point where it's like they're going to release, close to each other because they've kept having to delay Elden Ring. So
yeah, well, maybe.
I don't know.
Had
it come out when they wanted it to, I don't think it would have been as big a deal. But now it's just like, okay, when that you still haven't released Elden Ring, and now you're saying that Dustbloods is also coming the same year. They're going to be freaking close to each other. I have a feeling.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we're already in May, end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I would like to see the Dustbloods before Elden Ring.
Personally. I do too. At this point,
I would like to see that just Dustbloods release, Elden Ring, push it to holiday, and then get some holiday sales with Elden Ring. People are going to buy Elden Ring, but give us Dustbloods earlier. But we haven't, like I said, we've seen fuck all nothing about it. Like, we've watched Nintendo Directs come and go, partner Directs, and there's just been no mention. Like, this game just disappeared off the face of the planet. So that's obviously why he's having to continuously come out and say, we're still
coming.
It. Yeah, it's like,
still coming.
Well, maybe give us some proof or something.
Show us something. Come on.
Anyway,
that was that.
Jason, we got nothing for the third segment. Do you want to just wrap it?
Yeah, we can wrap it.
Anything you want to talk about? Anything outside of the news? Anything out of the ordinary?
No, I still want to, I know I'm getting close on Mouse PI for Hire. I should have obviously had that wrapped up already, so I'll get that one finished. Mixtape I'll get finished for next week. I do want to play the Indiana Jones game, but we'll see about that. Horizon 6 I still want to play. I think I'm just going to just push all the shit away from my TV down here so I can actually play that goddamn game. It's just been a project around our house, which is limiting my stuff that I can get to. So just some other cool stuff that I want to touch on and talk about in the coming weeks. So I plan on continuing Remake. If I ever get the drive to go back to it, I fucking got to stop playing pinball at some point. I literally almost went to Quarter Barrel yesterday. I was like sitting here, I was like, dude, I might just go there by myself and fucking play some pinball or something. I delivered there yesterday. That would have been kind of cool. I walk in and you're like in there playing some games.
Make sure to tell Rod at work that I was in playing pinball, and he'll fucking hate me even more than he already is. I thought about it. I didn't end up doing it. Maybe today's the day. It's my birthday, so maybe I'll swing over there and do some shit.
Wait, today's what?
Today's my birthday.
Today's your birthday? Dude. Yeah. Why don't we talk about that up top?
I got no plans. I'm
Happy
30.
Birthday, Cam.
I'm 32. It don't matter at this point, dude. Just another fucking day. Another fucking day. So anyways, maybe I'll do that today. Just go over there. But what else? Oh, I started
bury the lead.
Oh, I wasn't even gonna bring it up. I just kind of fell into the conversation.
Anyway,
I started playing Infamous again. The original. I just fired it up on a PS3. That game plays like shit, dude. Dude, I fucking, what the hell? Like, I don't remember. Like, nostalgia goggles are fucking strong, brother, because I don't remember.
Strong.
I was sitting there, like, I was playing it. I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, what the fuck is the deal here? Like, is my PS3 Slim dying, or like, what in the fuck is going on here? And I was reading, like, I was like really concerned. I was like browsing online. I'm like, is there any way to improve performance on my Slim? Like, blow your fucking fans out and put a solid state in and yada yada and all this other shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I just played Final Fantasy X and had no issues. Infamous runs like fucking shit on the PS3. It runs like shit on the PS3. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The game runs like fucking shit. It doesn't look great. I mean, it's an older game. It came out in 2009. So it was a relatively early release for that system. And now that I am playing it, I remember there was some problems with early PS3 releases. So I'm not blaming my hardware, but boy, that game fucking plays like shit. So it's one of those that the memories were better than the actual revisiting. But all that aside, I still am having fun with it. I'm going full villain mode for the first time. I always, like you, take the high road. And I will say the story is suffering by me being murder everything in sight.
It does.
Just because it's like, it goes against all of your codes. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
you have to make these decisions. Like, all right, well, I'm going villain. I got to do this. I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm doing it.
I know.
I'm poisoning everybody's water.
I appreciate that games allow you to do that, but it does change the way you play it. You know,
it does. You have to make immoral decisions that go against your character. Like that is not a correct decision for anyone, regardless of if you're a shitty dude or not. Like, it's just, but you have to do it if you want to go. I've never gone full villain in that game. I've probably beaten the original Infamous a couple times. I wasn't sure because Infamous 1 and 2 kind of blend together, but I remember specifically playing 2 with my buddy Brandon. We played it the worst way possible. Have I talked about this? I probably have, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know. I don't think so.
We were having a sleepover. We were dumb kids. I mean, we were probably 16 at the time, smoking cigarettes in his house. Terrible. Don't do that, kids. Anyways, but we would play for an hour. One person would nap. We'd wake each other up every hour, pass the controller off, give a quick summary, and the other person would fall asleep. And so we did that. It was a horrible way to play the game, but we played the whole game that way. And we beat it in that one night. It was so stupid, but that's kind of how we did it. I don't even know how we ended up in that loop, but I'll never forget it for that. So I wasn't sure if that was Infamous 2 or 1. Those two kind of blend in my head together. But now that I've played a lot more of 1, I'm maybe a third of the way through or so. I remember playing 1. But Jesus Christ, I could not believe the frame drops in that are unbelievable. Like, it's crazy. So, yeah, maybe the leap from 3 to 4 was actually good. I'm realizing
it might have been. I was watching your gameplay on that, and I was like, I totally remember this, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe I don't, because this doesn't.
Oh, it was running terrible. And I don't know what's going on when I do that. When I record from my phone, sometimes I pick up audio correctly. That stream was fucked, so I just deleted the whole VOD. I didn't realize the audio was fucking shite. You couldn't even hear the TV. I kept fucking with the audio, like the volume. I couldn't find the right volume, and it just sounded like shit when I re-listened to it. So I just scrubbed it of the internet. I thought it was a fun little concept to try to do like a throwback stream where I recorded the TV like I used to do on my old YouTube channel before capture cards existed. I just thought it was like a cute, different thing, fun, stupid. It came across dumb. Came across dumb as shit. But sometimes you got to try stuff and it's going to fail.
So, and that's where there are just certain games that I don't think I want to go back and revisit because I want to hold on to the memory that I had of them. So
I am learning that lesson hard. I mean, I replayed it Underground 2 and tunes changed on that guy quite a bit.
Rough.
Honestly, I played Carbon back in the day after Underground 2 and thought Carbon was like a worse version of Underground, and I completely disagree now. I think Carbon's better than Underground 2. So just, but I don't know. I'm a history buff and not a history buff. I'm a gaming history buff, but so I like to see all that stuff. So I can tolerate a little bit more than most, I would say. But yeah, I do want to go through the Infamous games again. And even though 1 is rough, I know 2 ran better from what I've read. So I'm going to continue to plow through it. I don't hate it, but boy, it's been an interesting ride. What else have I played? Not much else, really. I don't think. Okay. Just been loving life, living life. I got one more week of pure bliss of video game stuff before I have to go back on Saturday, unless my doctor says, hey, brother, you're fucked. We're going to have to get in there and get that shit taken care of, which I'm sure he will. So we'll see. But that is... Well,
we miss you at work, so it would be nice to have you.
Well, you probably do. I mean, just with a body, it helps.
It does. Yeah. Fucking having someone else to talk to on break, too. Sometimes my breaks in the morning are just like, blech.
Anything else? Damn. What the fuck was I gonna? Oh, quarter barrel. I think I've covered everything. I'm just circling the drain.
Yeah, I think I have too, and I'll have more to talk about. Next week, like I mentioned up top, it was a rough week and a half. So,
Jason, what game is leading your number 1 of the year so far?
Honestly, probably the same as you. Probably Pragmata.
It fucks, dude.
It does.
I think it's so good.
It really does. Let me see what I got on my...
When is Memorial Day weekend? September?
Next weekend.
No, when's your brother coming back?
Oh, next weekend.
Your brother's coming back next weekend?
Yep. So I took annual for next Saturday. And honestly, originally it was because of the F1 race coming back. I wanted to kind of be home.
Yeah,
for
I
that.
gotta.
But so then what's going to end up happening though, which is cool, is I'm going to have Saturday, Sunday, Monday is Memorial Day, and then Tuesday is my day off. So I'm going to have fucking 4 days off of work. So
I've had 3 weeks off.
oh, I know.
Feel like an asshole, but it's kind of fun. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for you. For him, obviously, you can be good, hang out with your brother, but also you're getting that PS4 and Bloodborne is calling your name, bitch.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, goddamn. Hey,
Yeah,
by the way,
so-
listen to last week's episode. Also, that fucking episode ruled. That was a fun.
It does
episode.
rule, and I've had some people at work even being like, I listened to that. That was interesting. Some of your games that you mentioned, I hadn't thought about in a while. So, yeah. Listen to that one. It was fun.
Ruled. Fucking ruled. Every episode rules. Yeah, those are fun.
But those are just a little bit more special, just because it's like we really can dive into why we're gamers.
Yeah, it's hard. Those are fun to do, but like, there's gonna be like, I would do every show like that, but it's gonna get to a point where we're gonna run out of ideas. So like we have, so I wanted to establish a format that way we have something to follow once things start to piddle dick or whatever the fuck. But those are always so much fun. Those two minis are my favorite episodes we've done. I mean, I love every episode that we've done, but those are just so much fun. It gives you guys an insight into our personality and what more of our thoughts as opposed to just covering like the fucking industry shit.
That's what I was gonna say. They're a little bit more personal.
Yeah, which is great.
So
and that's important for people to understand who the fuck we are. But that's why I'm also dumping content on YouTube like an absolute maniac psychopath.
You've had the time to do that. Like, you might as well take advantage of that before you have to return to the grind.
Absolutely. It's fucking stupid.
Sucks, man.
YouTube content will continue to come. Like I said, Pinball Archives. I'm kind of proud of that series.
I'm
kind of happy with it. We'll see.
It's really cool.
Not to toot my own horn or nothing, but
no, but it's cool.
I think that's a cool, fun series. I wasn't sure where to put. This is so off topic. We're just rambling at this point. Stay tuned to the show. God bless it. We talk games and we love him. And I'm circling the drain because I don't know how to end a fucking podcast. Jason, end the fucking podcast.
Let's see. Well, play Pragmata, man. I know we just spoiled it if you went through the spoiler section, but even with a spoiler on that game, it's still worth a play. It is really something special. So
absolutely
play Pragmata. Really, video games are cool. We're gonna keep talking about them.
Yes, and if anybody wants to donate a pinball table to me, I will take it. I'm fucking doing it again.
All right.
We're getting out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you
next
next
guys.
week.
Thanks for listening.